3. Let's get it. The name is Laudation. As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like. Share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in. Cowboys, sports talk, and beyond. Let me know if the audio is straight. Let's get it. Yo, Cowboys drama, final run. Times, let's look into this. Let's talk about this. One way or another. Yo. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Yo. Mama said there'll be days just like this. And if this is your first time ever tuning in, be sure to hit the like, share this content, and let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys, Sports Talk, and beyond. It's down to the final 4 teams. The final 4 teams is down to those teams, and we need to figure it out, right, on how we can replicate and be like one of those final 4 teams that's now left in the playoffs. And for the AFC side, you have the Ravens, and you have the Kansas City Chiefs. And for the NFC side, you have Detroit, and you have the 49ers. And I'm going to say this, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very difficult, vaunting type of thing to say, but are the Cowboys anywhere close or near those 4 teams that's in the playoffs now? Let me ask, are the Cowboys anywhere close or near those teams? Can we look at it from the perspective of at least the ownership? Where do you rank the owners? That's the last 4 that's left. Are we close from the owner's perspective? Are we close from the owner's perspectives, right? Hands down. Are you willing to say, okay, give me the Ravens owners, man, and they can have Jerry, right? Yeah. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs owners, and they can have Jerry, right? Give me the 49ers owner, and they can have Jerry and Stevens, the Joneses, Give me the Detroit owners, right? All right, so no. Okay, good. In terms of money, shoot, big money. I like it. I used to have. We got the money, baby. Boy, we got our own money over here, y'all. That's just what it is. All right, so far as let's go, I love this game. All right, so next from coaching, next from owners is GM. So do we have the general manager? Do we have the general manager of any of those 4 teams that's listed here? Detroit, Niners, from the Niners to the Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. No. Okay, it's a lot of no's, man. Come on, what happened to the yeses? All right. Don't you say no tonight. Come on, man. What a no. What a yes at, man. Yes. All right. So that's owners, no. General managers, no. From y'all purview, from y'all perspectives, right? All right. So let's break this down. Coaching. We're going to have to split this in half, right? Let's measure Mike McCarthy versus Dan Campbell. Would you take Dan Campbell over Mike McCarthy? Let me see if anybody going to say yes in the chat. Would you take Dan Campbell over Mike McCarthy? All right. Okay, no. I got Ron Mitchell says yes. Okay. All right. Somebody keep telling me to check out Marcus Spears. Man, y'all gonna have to send it over to me on the Twitter. I don't have that clip. I'll play the clip if y'all send it to me on my Twitter DM. Just send it over to me and I'll play the clip. I don't have the clip. Ryan Mitchell, send me the clip, man. Somebody send me the clip. Would you take Kyle Shanahan over Mike McCarthy? Would you take Andy Reid over Mike McCarthy? Would you take, and this is a fun exercise too. Yeah. Okay. Somebody said no. Somebody said who or I'm moving too fast. Trayvon Hill says no. Okay. Okay. Yes. Would you take Harbaugh over Mike McCarthy? Okay. All right. Good. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of people so far. Johnny says read only, but the collectives are saying basically that they would not take Mike McCarthy over any of those guys. All right, so defensive side, we can go defensive coordinators, and if excuse me, I don't know all of the defensive coordinators over there, but would you take any of the defensive coordinators that they have over there opposed to Dan Quinn? Would you take the defensive coordinator from the Ravens? Would you take the defensive coordinator from the Chiefs? Would you take the defensive coordinator from Detroit? Would you take the defensive coordinator from the 49ers? Y'all can just tell me yes or no with that one, right? We haven't even got to the players yet. So, all right. And then we're going to go big picture players, and we're going to just talk about units with the players. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go get right to the chase. Dak Prescott. Out of the 4 quarterbacks that's remaining on the schedule, far as the playoffs, would you take Dak Prescott over Goff right now? You know. And these are all, they done backed themselves into a good little corner. They don't even know. I'm straight up out the corner. It gonna be a miracle, they say, to breathe again and see again. But anyway, I get back on my feet and everything. Oh, my bad, wrong show. Would you take Josh Allen over Dak Prescott? Would you take Lamar over Dak? I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Okay, all right. Would you take, oh, my bad, not Josh Allen. Josh Allen out, my bad. I thought he was still in there. I thought he was elite. My bad. Would you take Pat Mahomes, I meant to say, over Dak? Would you take Goff over Dak? Would you take Brock Purdy over Dak? Now, some of those questionings, you got to still, if you're going to take the quarterback, you got to take the coach too, right? You can't just leave him. So if you're going to take, for example, Brock Purdy, meaning that you're going to have Mike McCarthy. You know, you can't have them both. So you're going to have to make the even swap. Dak got to go over there to Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan got to stay with the 49ers, right? So Dak got to go to the 49ers. And we got to have Brock Purdy with Mike McCarthy. That's just how it goes. I don't make the rules. See, now people are like, oh, no, Law, I wasn't ready for this game.
Not the one who made the rules, right? Do it, left, do it, right, do it, left, do it, right, do it.
Would you think, is Brock Purdy the same in the Dallas Cowboys uniform? Y'all think that Brock Purdy would be him over here the way he did it over there? You know, I'm just asking for someone, you know, that's way in the back. You know, all right, so, but what I'm trying to say here collectively is that I get it. The drama is very thick right now in the Cowboys land, and a lot of people say that the Cowboys can't. They don't have the ability. So what are the abilities? What will this do if you can do it? What are the solutions? Somebody said, oh, hell no. Yes, indeed. Law trying to rig the game like spades. Now, hey, it's just what it is, you know.
Not the one who made the rules, right? Do it, left, do it, right.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here, too, is we can't change the coaching staff right now. We can't get those 4 coaches that's in the playoff right now. They're going to be there for a little while. And on top of that, we don't have the ability to change out the owners nor the GM. And the GM is not going to fire himself, and the owner's not going to fire the GM. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have to figure out how to win. If you look at the 4 teams that's remaining, how are they able to win? Is it by quarterback alone? Is it by the quarterback alone? All of these 4 teams that's in the playoff now, did they get there surely only because of the quarterback? Let me get a yes or a no. Are those teams or the team that's remaining, what style and kind of caliber of defense do they play? Do they play good defense? Yes or no? Do they play good defense? Yes or no? I just need to know. Do they have linebackers too? I want to know that too. I just want to know that for the side observation. Do they have linebackers? I need to know. Do they have linebackers? Okay. All right. And the 4 teams that's remaining on the playoff schedule, do they have a run game? Are they able to run the ball efficiently? Do they have a run game? Or I'm gonna tell you, if they don't, then they ain't gonna make it and win the Super Bowl. I can tell you that. Do they have a run game? Yes. Ravens, yes. Okay. Where do our run game match up? Would you take, and I just say this for the last piece of it, would you take our run game opposed to any of these 4 teams that's remaining? Would you take any of our run game? Would you, and I don't care about offensive line. I ain't finna talk about that because we seen some of these teams that's remaining, even if they had a porous offensive line, they were still able to run the ball. I'm old enough to remember that Trent Williams was the only dude that was on that offensive line week 5 that was pretty much intact. Everybody else was banged up, and they were still able to run all over us. Oh, and excuse me, when I was banging on the table for my guy, Roll Tide Jahmyr Gibbs, everybody was saying that, hey, he ain't going to be able to run in between the splits, bouncing to the outside. He's not a big back, etc. And y'all scoffed at me about that whole situation. I'm glad that Detroit did everybody a favor and picked him way before he got down to the 24th pick or whatever. What pick we had last year, the 26th pick or something like that? No, the league is scripted anyway. This is Andrew G. I feel you, though. I feel you on that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah. So somebody says, yeah, they would do that in a cocaine crackhead heartbeat, right? They would take any of these running approaches to the game. So I will tell you this. When you look back at this overall, the whole deal, the Dallas Cowboys got to fix up their run game. The quarterback is office furniture from right now, and you can't get rid of the quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody say, get rid of Dak. Why? You going to let Trey and Cooper Rush go in there with nothing to compete with? No, and shoot, them boys going to have to compete for that spot. I don't want to give it to anyone that's on this team. It would be better for those guys to compete for it. That's my notion, and that's nothing to do with an apologist. I'm perturbed, I'm mad, I'm angry and upset at Dak just like everybody else. Just like everybody else, we all mad at the overall game and the overall outcome. But at this point, if you want to figure out a way to win, you got to do what these 4 teams done did. These 4 teams that's remained, and that's not even up for debate. When we open up the phone line, I declare and decree that you can't even use that as an argument. You can't sit back and say, man, well, Law, the Ravens don't have a run game. Oh, man, Law, man, Pat Mahomes don't have a run game, actually. Oh, man, the 49ers, they don't have a run game. Oh, man, it's going to take years for the other teams to build a run game. Nah, Detroit fixed their run game in 1 season. They went and drafted a running back early, and they went into the acquisitions of the free agency, and they pulled up Montgomery, So they fixed that stuff. Like, fix this, Rick. Fix this. They fixed it. Ain't that right? Cuban boy, dictator law, left all out. But no, I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. Yeah, Chris Davis, this is what we do, man. We will fight and hold on to Chris. We will hold on to Cooper Rush, man. Come on, man, Cooper Rush, man. I mean, shout out to Cooper Rush. Met the man, very good, nice, humble guy. Very good guy. And salute to Trey, too. I think that here's what I like about Trey Lance. The things that y'all marvel about quarterback arm talent with Jordan Love, what he was able to do, even though they lost to the 49ers, Trey can make every throw just like that. The only problem in the parts of issues with Trey is experience. And the only way you can get experience is play him. Sure, he going to have his time in the sun. And on top of that, if you ask anybody who's not all up into the 49ers, you know what, and you move to the side and say, hey, man, how did Trey Lance really look in practice? How did Trey Lance really look out there in preseason? Hey, man, he was looking like one of the better ones. Looked better than Sam. At times, he looked better than the other quarterback, Brock Purdy. But I get it, and the thing is, when you have a system and things put into place, it's your system and things put into place. Kyle Shanahan, keep it 1,000. He was able, with his particular system, to take Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl. In the last 5 or 6 years, or you can throw in the last 10 years, in his particular system, Jimmy Garoppolo got more playoff wins than Aaron Rodgers, So it's all about the systems too. And that's just what it is. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear the small facts of the matter, but they are facts and they are not up for debate. And what type of system do the Cowboys have? I'm waiting. What kind of system? What is our philosophy? What is our identity? Because if I go down there and tell y'all that, hey, law. If I ask y'all, what is the philosophy in the system for the Ravens, y'all can give me that. What is the philosophy in the system for the Ravens? Whether it be offensive or defensively. Give me the offensive system. Give me the defensive system. What is the system there? Or the identity? They got one, right? They got an identity, They don't have to worry about selecting the boxes. If they he, she, them, they, their, others, they know who they are. What is the philosophy and the principle even for Andy Reid? Andy Reid been a damn good coach, man. Man, we literally popped champagne bottles, man, when he left up out of the NFC East. Oh, man, my goodness, man, he was good. And he was so good that when they got rid of him, boy, we was happy. I can only imagine what he would have done with that roster until Chip Kelly busted open, right, and broke down everything. And they had to literally go back to the Andy Reid system, because Doug Peterson is a part of who system? Andy Reid. And they had to go back to the system to win them a Super Bowl. And then they got rid of Doug, so that's a good thing, right? And they got Nicholas Sirianni. May they keep him for 5 or 6 more years, right? Because it's a system. A tree is known by what it bears. Could y'all put that down? A tree is known by what it bears. The fruit. The fruit. And it's crazy to me that there was another stat out there that even when you look into the confines of the Detroit team, if you look a little deeper, even with the Detroit team, what's their identity? What's their system? Where it come from? It comes from the Cowboys, man. Come on, man. It comes from Bill Parcells. A tree is known by the what? It bears. Oh, come on, man. See, sometimes you can have something and you can drop it. You can just flat out drop it. Jason Garrett was never part of Bill Parcells' system, right? He was a new regime. Him and Wade Phillips, they was a new thing, right? But that's a whole nother storyline, y'all. But what's the identity of the Detroit? What things that you know for sure you're going to get when you play those boys? What's the identity of the 49ers? Shoot, you can shake that tree, something going to fall out of it really good. But what's the identity of the Cowboys? That's the psychological thing right there. And a lot of people say, hey, man, it's going to take a minute to change the culture and the identity of a team. Nah. It don't take that long to do all of that. It don't take that long to do all of that. Ron says Cowboys losing big games. What keep you from losing big games? Preparations, being prepared. What keep you losing big games? Not preparations, not being prepared, with the knots in front of it. Early round exits. Too much showboating. Too much feeling that you already you're too sure of yourself and didn't gauge the opposition right. I would get it if one player isolated by himself played terrible. But when you have units playing terrible, that's a problem. That's an issue. That's coming from coaching. And regardless of you can say it left and right, but if you isolate it to just one individual, then that's coming from that one individual, and I get it. But when your offensive line is not getting pushed, where did that come from? Okay, coaching. When your defensive line is not able to make an impact and get a sack, strip sack, or force a turnover, that comes from what? Coaching. When you're not prepared, when you have people wide open and they're singing YMCA, YMCA, hey, 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 you know, not being prepared. Coaching. So that's just the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to hold players accountable too. You do. And I get it. You know, we got a lot of drama from the off-field situations, shenanigans, right? As most people will say that, shenanigans. But if you have the well-respect of a team, then even on your off days or even on your off situations, your representation will speak for you boldly. It will. But that's a whole nother conversation. Let's play this audio, and I appreciate everybody, man. We having no issues today, huh? I see, huh? No issues today. I appreciate it, man. It's good to have no issues, and I'm shocked actually. I was thinking that I was gonna. I was like, man, I know these last few days, man, we've been having issues and stuff whenever we talk about certain topics and things like that. But it is what it is.
Is it going to revert back as soon as these games start being win or go home?
Okay, one more, and then so I wanted to follow up on Dak there. What do you think's going on there? Is there any indication of reason to believe that the pressure, there's like a Kirk Cousins situation going on, like Kirk in primetime, Dak in the playoffs? Is that a narrative that is valid in your mind, John?
Until it changes, you have to think that. Until he goes out there and gets over the hump and puts together this, 3-game postseason winning streak and gets them to a Super Bowl, I don't know how you can think otherwise. He has to show it. And really, he's about as open as any player is when it comes to things like that. I mean, to sit there and admit how poorly he's played in those games, I mean, he's not running from it. He knows it has to be better there. I'd say the one positive you have is now with the second season with McCarthy calling plays, maybe things get to a level where this becomes like the perfect offense for him where, there are no weaknesses. No matter what an opposing defense does, they have the answers to the test, and that will ultimately make it for the difference in January. And maybe that does happen next January. Maybe we're talking about a deep playoff run next year. I'm just saying that between now and then, it's tough to sell that to people.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to sell, right? Hey, man, next year, dog. Wait a minute. Wait till next year, dog. Because everything that we talked about with this particular team, we don't have a lot of draft picks this year, right? We missing the 4th-round draft pick. We're missing a few of them on the – so we got 1, 2, 3. We got to make the first 3 picks really do something for us, right? 21, can you do something for me? So we got to make the first 3 picks do something. We do have a 3rd-round draft pick this year, right? And for those who – because I know I had the chart somewhere earlier up. So we do have those type of things, right? And let me see if I can pull it up because I know for sure we don't have as many as we used to have, but the Cowboys better. I think it's right here. Boom. Here we go. I know I had it somewhere right here. Hold on, let me fix it up. Been deleting so many things. So we got a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd, and then we get a 5th possible comp pick, a 6th possible comp pick, a 7th round, and a 7th round. All right, so we're going to have to make these first 3 shake. But here's my thoughts. And put that butter knife down, by the way. Don't shank me with it. I'm not depending on these 3 draft picks. If I'm trying to win the Super Bowl, I'm not depending on these first 3 draft picks. Here's my thoughts on it. These are later picks. These are later round picks. And outside of the 1st round draft pick, maybe, yes, maybe. Out of the 2nd round draft pick, if I'm trying to get something out of this draft, it's about packaging and moving up to get that sure quality of pick. Like the Detroit did with Laporta, like the Detroit did with Gibbs. You can't just sit on your hands and say, all right, well, if I'm going to depend on the 24th spot and the 56th and the 88th spot, that ain't going to be enough, man. If you just going to sit on your hands and be stagnant, no, that's ignorant. Stagnant will be ignorant. You're going to have to this year, if they going to run this back, Mike McCarthy can't be sitting like he do in the 3rd quarter all last year, right, or this year, but depending on where you want to look at it, or last season, or this past season, or this season, however you want to look at it, and be stagnant. Nah, he going to have to be, hey, man, my ASS is on the line. I need to wheel and deal. Will McClay, hey, bro, hey, man, I heard you the Magic Man. I need this, I need that, and if a dog should need linebacker, Dan Quinn, if they going to bring him back, I get it. And shout out to my guy, Boss Cowboys Sports. I heard pieces of his video that he did the other day about mad scientists. And there's 2 Dan Quinns. There's a nerd Quinn, and then there's a hardcore Quinn. I need the hardcore Quinn, I need that dude. I don't need this experimentations and stuff like that. Dexter, the laboratory guy. I need Dan Quinn to understand that size matter. And if you're going to get a person that's going to play linebacker, let it be that they've been playing damn linebacker since middle school and high school if they're going to be 220 pounds or 215 pounds. Let them being able to already know linebacker. Let them not try to learn the job on the fly. Now here's my thoughts, though. Marquise Bell, I think that, shout out to my guy with this phrase. I love this phrase, off-seasons peanut butter. He need to get him some off-season peanut butter infused with some creatine and some more stuff. Man, get him some Brazilian nuts or something, man, because he's going to have to need some pounds added to his frame. He going to need it. I need for Marquise Bell to be about 230, 235-ish, and still keep that dexterity and that speed. So he going to have to do some off-season lifting, some creatine, and some whole bunch of stuff, He going to have to do put the jump rope down, man. You going to have to get some flexibility elsewhere, you know what I'm saying? Off-season peanut butter. Vach is missing out on some branding there. Vach Lombardi's peanut butter, I'll buy it and sell it to him, Hey, here you go, Marquise Bell. VL peanut butter, come on. And give him a Snicker, by the way. We also going to have to tell Dan Quinn, if he decides to stay, that you're going to have to stop falling in love with the players. I get it. Wanye is a real good dude, and I love his Twitter handle and what he's doing for the community is beyond. But Wanye, you don't have to dim your light, bro. We know that you was better than doggone J. Ron Curse. Our eyes didn't deceive us, man. Come on, man. Get that 101-pound bag of potatoes. I see you, Brian. Yes, and say I wanted to be gone. But we gonna need these players that can make plays. This is a business, not family. And yeah, you're right. Far as the Mike McCarthy on the offensive side, the Mike Solari deal, I get it. It's going to take some used to movement for him to get accurate. What was it? No. Yeah. For him to get accurate with these guys' skill set. Yeah. And Mike Solari, to me, there are spots on this team that we became better at, and there are spots on this team that we came worse at. I don't know whether or not you can say, okay, all right, can you just change out the offensive line coach and the running back coach, Jeff Blasco, and get these running backs to run better? But I was looking at it from talent aspect. They are who they were, you know what I'm saying? Like, and no offense to Rico, he wasn't a world beater, right? We had to understand that Rico was a good change of pace back that ran with authority that we liked. But these last 4 teams that's in the playoffs, there's not somebody that's going to say, hey, man, give me Rico over him. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason your talent skill is your talent skill. In the Cowboys, with the running back situation, yes, we paid $10 million for Tony Pollard. Here's the 1,000 truths. People think that when I say this, that I'm implying that Tony sucked. No, he didn't suck. But for $10 million, we had to know what we were going to get. And guess what? They didn't know what they were going to get. Why? Because they put him on the franchise tag and he never got a chance to see the open market. And when you do the franchise tag, I'm going to say this again, and I banged on the table, and I said this not sometimes, I said it all last year. Don't put players on the franchise tag. Because when you put players on the franchise tag, you can't prorate the money, you can't spread the money out. That's a big hit. And great teams don't use franchise tags. On hurt players, I went and broke it down. I said that franchise tags are equivalent to the check and go places, those title loan places, or when you go and you look for those spots. Have you ever noticed in prominent neighborhoods, you don't see check and goes? You don't see title advance, cash advance places because they know that those things hurt you. It would be better if you can borrow the money from Ashaniqua and them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to those title loan places. And I'm telling y'all, you can't find the title loan places in prominent neighborhoods. But if you go to the hood, they everywhere on every corner. Right next to the liquor store. You can go get the title loan check advance place. And people know I'm telling the truth. And for teams that use franchise tags, they have a poor man's mentality and they have the fear mentality, and it cripples the team. Now, what you can do, you can use the franchise tag for a placeholder, but man, for the season, don't let that player play on that franchise tag. It's not worth it. You could have got 3 Tony Pollards, man, for $10 million. How much Swift paid? How much Swift got paid for? How much did he? I know he didn't cost $10 million. I'm telling you guys, the Jones family, when you use those franchise tag, it cripples the organization. That hurted us more than anything in 2019. Was it 2019, 2020? Yeah, 2020. When they franchise tagged Dak, that hurt more than any play that Dak Prescott ever played. Why? That was $60 million. Whatever the franchise tag was, I think it was 35. I think we did it back-to-back, $60 million. You can't prorate that money. You can't spread it. You can't add more weapons to it. You can't put it here to stretch this out. But what happened is that when I say those things, the now people don't hear me. The later they feel me, you know, and that's just what it is. They feel me then. They be like, but man, the quarterback's still trash. I get it. But if the Cowboys didn't allow Dak Prescott to see the open market, the last time Dak Prescott was on the open market was in 2016. They franchise tagged that kid twice. And it develops a wedge on the fan base. Because people start talking about, hey, you know, this is what it is. What is the wedge? Value, worth. Because when it's out there for so long, people are going to say he ain't worth $25 million at that time. He ain't worth $30 million at that time. He ain't worth 35. And shoot, the Colts are like, shoot, I'll give him 35 and 2 first rounds or a first and a third, right? But when you put that tag on him and say, okay, let's run it back, the value of it is that he never got a chance to see. And then you never got a chance to play. So when it got down to actually signing him, the trust was already gone. The trust was already gone. So Dak was looking at it like, well, shoot, y'all ain't finna hose me. So I will sign a new contract, but you got to have no franchise tag and no trade clause on my contract, and I want my guarantees to be this. Air Cable Network says Josh Allen ain't worth $258 million. Right. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. But the art of negotiation, and I'm not saying that I'm a better negotiator than the Jones family. You know, they can probably run circles around me, right? Yeah, they probably run circles around me. But they didn't run circles around Todd France. They didn't run circles around even DeMarcus Lawrence. What if I told y'all, man, just until this year, D-Law, he had the biggest cap hit than any player on the team. His cap hit was $28 to $30 million a year. Where did it come from, Law? How did he get there? How did he get there? Okay, they franchise tagged him twice. Teams that operate out of the franchise tags are the people that operates out of trying to say, okay, I'm going to go to this title loan place, and then I'm going to go to this other check cashing place. This title loan place gave me $1,000, but I'm going to go to another title loan place that gave me $3,000, and then we're going to just, when it's time for me to pay this out, to pay that out. No. That's why you don't see successful teams. Look, you can probably do the survey on the 4 teams that's here right now in the playoffs. I think 1 out of the 4 teams utilize the franchise tag that way. And I don't blame the Kansas City Chiefs for using it on Orlando, I believe, 1 year. But they was able to salvage that and get something back in return. All right, Renfro says, Law, what do you think of S. Corner that we signed today? I don't know. I have to look at his tape and everything. I always like the underdog, so I'll look at his tape and everything. Jason, I appreciate you. I love the underdog stories. You know, I do root for the underdog, believe it or not. And I'll give him flack. That's what I'm supposed to do. Supposed to give him a little flack here and there. Yeah, so appreciate y'all, man. Smash the like button. But that's just what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So my thing is, with this, with all what we're saying here, don't fault the player for getting the bag. Don't fault them. I can't fault the players for the decisions of the higher-ups for paying them that bag. Now, I would never tell Tony Pollard, hey, man, turn down the $10 million because that money you can't prorate nor spread it out. And you should dim your light, take a $5 million, maybe a $4 million contract so that we can add more players on this team. Nah. Bet on yourself, man. Take that $10 million, man, and parlay that, man. Put that for your futures, man. Your kids should be able to eat off of that if you live everything right and manage everything right. And you should be okay, bro. You know, yeah, do that. You know, no, it's just, this is for my guy, Brandon Ross. Appreciate him, man. No, I just fought Dak for being 2-5. This is Brandon Ross. And appreciate you, my dog. I thank you for commenting. And that's going to be on his resume. 2-5 for right now. That's his resume. And when we start talking about the teams in general, the last 4 teams that's left here, do any of those teams, ladies and gentlemen, prepare themselves the way the Cowboys prepared themselves? You going to say no. You going to say no. So it goes all the way back. We did the whole exercise. If any of those teams, would you take Dan Quinn? No. But it is what it is. And on top of that, you know, my guy DJ Demp says, hell no. You know, but I get it. Here's the craziest thing. How long the drought been? How long the drought been for the Cowboys? How long it's been since 1995? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna sip on some good of this good old juice I got right here. Oh, Snoop Connor, the running back we signed between. Okay, I thought he was a cornerback. You know, okay, Snoop. I had to take a look at Snoop's tape. Smoke one for you. 29 years. Okay. So 8 out of the 29 years. What's the percentage of that? 8 out of the 29 years, what is the percentages of that? 29 years. I don't think that this quarterback been on this team for 29 years, though, by the way. CJ says, yo, Law, we need to beef up the linebacker room ASAP. Speaking of beefing up the linebacker room, I do have film and footages of a guy that he's not going to be a beefy guy, because I'm still in the process of looking at more and more information. more and more tape. But I did get a chance to highlight this this young individual here. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm glad that you guys brought that topic point up. And his name is Edrin, not James, but Cooper, and not Amari. So I think that, even if you bring him in for a tandem piece, that would be a good look for the Cowboys, because what you're trying to do here is just bring in more and more guys that can play linebacker, And let me see if I can play this right quick. Let's look into Edrin Cooper. First and foremost, he's 6'3", right at 230 pounds, and he's graded as one of the best linebackers coming out of the draft this year. First and foremost, man, the dude had 10 sacks last season. I think that's remarkable in 12 games, over 27 pressures. And on top of that, when you think of someone with 5 QB hits, over 12 hurries, he's harassing people, right? He's always willing to come down and hit. I'm looking for a linebacker that can do that, and he can fill the holes, and he's not afraid to do just that. When you think about a linebacker, especially someone that can cover, he's more of the mode of a weak side linebacker, but I'm seeing that this guy on tape can go hook to flat. He can play in the middle of the field, and he's not afraid to come down and pop you if necessary. So he was the leader of that particular team, Texas A&M gig him, and he did just that. He fly out to the. Let's look into Edrin Cooper. First and foremost, he's 6'3", right at 230 pounds, and he's graded
Murphy
as
Law
one of the
restarted.
best linebackers coming out of the draft this year. First and foremost, man, the dude had 10 sacks last season. I think that's remarkable in 12 games, over 27 pressures. And on top of that, when you think of someone with 5 QB hits, over 12 hurries, he's harassing people, right? He's always willing to come down and hit. I'm looking for a linebacker that can do that, and he can fill the holes, and he's not afraid to do just that. When you think about a linebacker, especially someone that can cover, he's more of the mode of a weak side linebacker, but I'm seeing that this guy on tape can go hook to flat. He can play in the middle of the field, and he's not afraid to come down and pop you if necessary. So he was the leader of that particular team, Texas A&M gig him, and he did just that. He fly out to the ball. He's student of the game. They say he stayed in the film room, and he grew from one year to the next, especially in his production. 10 sacks come out of nowhere for this season opposed to the previous. Now, when you look at this play, watch how he busts this play up. He's a cerebral guy. He sees things happening before they do, and I love that. Slow until you know, read, react, and then explode. He's going to shoot right by these 3 blockers here, shoot through there without hesitations, nor deviations to the matter. Flies down, snipes down inside, and he makes this play, blows it up before it occurs to be a positive yards here. And I like seeing that out of Edrin Cooper. Squeeze down, get small, make the shoelace tackle there, or hold him until someone else get there. Those are things that you look for, the qualities. It's the small things that linebackers do that can make the impact in the game and be a game changer. I'm looking at 45, Edrin Cooper, as just that, a game changer, someone that you can put on the field and you can match up with another linebacker, and now you have a tandem. And that's how things are able to grow in the National Football League. It's about matching your guys up with your playmakers and putting someone down there that can read, react, explode, make plays. And on top of that, in a pinch, pass rushing is his cup of tea as well. So if you want to pass rush him, you can use him as that. If you want to use him as hook to flat guy and control the C gaps, he can do that. He can play the deeper thirds. I like this kid, especially in a passing league. You want your linebacker to cover, and he brings that to the table as well. And he's a student of the game. He got a lot of positive things on his resume. And when you think of it, the only negatives and the cons that you would say is that he's over aggressive. Give me that over aggressive guy any day. Give me that guy who shoot through the gaps there and maybe select the wrong one. I think that those things are coachable. I'm looking at this guy as long as he stays into the film room, he's going to get even better. And that's his mindset and his fortitude of his thoughts there. So I like seeing that, and he loved to deliver the boom. So if the Cowboys decide to pick and scoop this dude up in the draft, it will be a plus for us, because now you can match him with the Overshawns of the world, or you can match him with Marquise Bell. I think Marquise Bell will be a better linebacker next season, and he probably get some of that weight added too. And then let's not leave out Micah Parsons. So if you add in more tandems like this, man, it can go crazy, and it can spread like wildfire. So salute to Edgerrin Cooper, one of the better linebackers coming out of this draft. I'm looking at his tape and trust and believe, man. This kid is phenomenal. Can't wait to see what he tests out in the combine and beyond. I know it's still too soon, so that's why we're going to wait before we dive into some inductive film studies here. First and foremost, I'm just going to tell you guys, he jumps out on the screen, and he's one of those guys that can make you dream of a great possibility. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Let's go. Appreciate you, Sadiq.
Sidika Charles $10. La salute. I pray you and your family are doing well. DC for life, no matter what.
No matter what. I appreciate you so much, Sadiq, and we really appreciate you. It's DC for life, no matter what. You're gonna always have people to try to take down the Cowboys in general, right? And it's us versus them mentality, but sometimes, you know, we will fall into the traps of us versus us, and nobody would like to have any solutions outside of, it's a very feminine trait, right? We got a lot of estrogen, feminine type of energy to say someone trash. And no offense to the ladies, right? But that's just what it is. They would say, he's trash. He's garbage. That's female traits, right? But that's female, feminine energy, and there's a lot of beta males around, and that's just how the society is. Instead of looking at something and say, okay, all right, what will be the solution? What will be the mindset of how do you can get better? How do you win? Of course you are in a horrible situation, but what do you need to get over that particular outcome? What do you need? Brad Johnson, he's trash, but okay, all right, so yeah, Brad Johnson trash. So how do you build around that? What do they do to get Brad Johnson that ring? Oh, they gave him run game. They had unbelievable defense. Oh, they were able to win. You see, you got to figure out ways to overcome. That's just what it is. So it is what it is. So when you break it down to that degree, it is what it is. How do they get better? So even if a person is horrible, how do you get them out of that horrible situation? And no, I don't call people trash, because you can't even find the tape that I call it. Even when I said with Anthony Brown, he is a DB that was on his team, and I said, oh man, it's going to be 3rd and Brown. What did I say that Brown's best capabilities are? Oh, zone. Is he a good man? No. He's better at zone. And what do you have to do even to have a better Brown? You're going to have to apply pressure on his side of the field. So there's cons and pros to everything that you have to do. And what you do is, when you tend to lean on the con side and never look at the pro sides of it, then you'll forever be in that stick in the mud. What did I tell y'all in situations, even when I was sleeping out of my car? It's not that I'm going to just stay there and lay there, because the trash person would say the end of the world is here and there's no light for tomorrow. No, you got to shake that off and figure out a way. The Creator created something inside of you to make the different impact, to make the different outcome of the situation. That's why I say you can't just cry about spilled milk. You can't get mad. Look, we all understand that the Jones family are the Jones family. But buying merchandise and then getting mad at it, tearing it, and putting it on fire don't do anything, because they already got their money. They already got their money. So at the end of the day, what you going to do about it? I said this before on this channel. Ask not what this country can do for you, but what you can do for this country. Did somebody say that? Yeah, JFK. I'm from Mississippi. I'm from Mississippi. And if I listen to the naysayers, and if I listen to the world, then I would have never seen six figures before. I would have sat down on myself and said, oh, man, don't nobody make it out of Mississippi. But no, some of the greatest come out of there. Look at Morgan Freeman. Look at Brandy and them, Ray Ray, you know what I'm saying? Look at Suge Knight, them from Mississippi. So if you fall into the traps of saying, oh, man, I ain't going to make it because, oh, man, because of this and that. No, you got to shake it off. I could have literally looked at the outcomes of the circumstances and said, hey, man, hey, based off of where I'm from, it's Snoop too. Yeah, Bear 24, David Banner. Boy, Big Crit. Boy, we can keep going on and on, baby. Boy, y'all better hush, man. Some real ones come out of Mississippi, baby. Y'all better watch out. Shake it off. So the whole thing, my whole thoughts is, even with Dak Prescott, when people say we can't lose, I get all of that. We can't win, I guess, we can't win because even my mind said we can't lose. But when people say, man, we can't win with Dak Prescott, okay, cool. We can't win. So how do we win? How do we win with Dak Prescott? What do we do in order to win with this particular team? How do we win with even Jerry Jones being in the mix? Because Jimmy Johnson had to figure it out, and the team had to win in spite of the owners and the coaches, even when Jimmy left. So you're going to have to figure out ways, baby. Or you can be like a little lady and just cry about it. Just cry about it and just say, well, we can't do anything. If you're looking for solutions, if you're looking for answers, or you can cry about it. I wasn't happy when I was making $9.50 an hour. But I could have looked at it like this, I'm going to make $9.50 an hour. No, I looked at it like this. I'm going to figure out a way that I can double my money and maximize my opportunity with my time. I don't have to go rob nobody or kill nobody. But in this world, some people will look at themselves and define themselves as $9.50 an hour. When you got 24 hours a day. When I was working security, I was like, shoot, let me get another post. I'm a single man at the time. I got nothing but time. I just wish I knew what I know now if I go back into a time machine. But everything that you go through in life is a teaching for the next part of your life. And it's a code to life. And a lot of people, I'm only talking to the educated ones, the ones that want to listen and learn something. It says it's a code to life. If you are a master of a few things, I'll make you a master of many. Be faithful over little things, I'll make you faithful. I'll be able to pour upon you over many. That's codes, man. You appreciate the $9.50, and now, shoot, you can make $9.50 a minute. Now, I ain't saying that I'm making $9.50 a minute, but what I'm saying is that you used to make $9.50 an hour, shoot, but now you have to maximize your time. When I was working at Post, they said, okay, we'll give you $15.50 an hour if you get your gun permit. What do you think Law did? Shoot, went and got that gun permit. After you get that gun permit, then people will say, hey, man, on holidays, they don't want to be working out there. They have to go with family. At that time, my mom would say, hey, when you eat, your whole entire family eat. So guess what I did? All right, cool. I'm going to go work a double. I'm going to work this overtime pay. Oh, this post right here is at that building, and that building's indoor versus outdoor. I'm going to try to put my name in that hat for that building. Get in there. Shoot. So at this time, yap about that. Don't you ever try to be disrespectful to the law. Yapping to these hands right here. That's what you gonna yap to. Yapping to that block. Whatever you want to. What law yapping about? Yapping about you being blocked on this channel? That's what I'm yapping about. That's what I'm yapping about. So at this time, I'm trying to put some information in y'all heads. Let those who have ears hear. Yeah, carry 2 guns, make 30 an hour. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So that's what I'm yapping about, is that when people look at this team and say, we would never. Well, shoot, there's only 4 teams right now. 4 teams right now in the playoffs. Somebody in the Bills community right now said, oh, man, we would never win because of Josh Allen. No. They're going to have to regroup and figure out another way. But for right now, Kansas City Chiefs, that dude, Pat Mahomes, is 6 straight AFC championship game. And how many rings do he have? 2. Look at the odds, even him going there so many times. It's not easy. Yes, indeed. So there we go. All right, let me see. Boy, I appreciate y'all. Ooh-wee. So look for solutions. We can always cry about the sun and the moon. I can't stand the sun. Or people live in Alaska. I can't stand the cold. Move out of Alaska. Didn't nobody tell you to be there in Alaska unless you was born there, unless you're assigned for a mission. So if you have the ability to move on, move on. But don't do this, Cowboy fans. Complain about the temperature in Alaska when you yourself moved to Alaska. So don't come over here complaining about the Cowboys every day when you selected the Cowboys to root for. Buy a coat, buy a jacket, buy some thermals. But don't come over here and because you don't like your experience in Alaska and tell everybody, hey, man, Alaska trash. Alaska suck. When they got Alaska cruise, there's people that love the weather out there. There's people like to be in the cold. And people, you can say about delusion, but what's the word of fan? It's fanatic. And give me the definition of a fanatic. SG says Jared Goff is better than Dak. He's supposed to, right? In life, Jared Goff, of course, probably supposed to have been better than Dak Prescott. In life, he's supposed to, but Dak didn't let that take it over. I guarantee you, Jared Goff, what? He probably grew up with his mama and daddy. Probably grew up going to all types of privileged situations from where he grew up at. Probably got drafted in the first round. Oops, yes, he did. Went to an organization. Right now, the Rams people are saying that they could never win with Jared Goff. Now, they probably looking at it like, hey, can Jared Goff come back? So it's all about what you do with the circumstances and the cards that was dealt with you and how you can continue to move forward. And as a fan of the game, you can't allow that to deter you. That's just what it is. If you look at the amount of circumstances that's right in front of you, you can't use that as a stick. Right now, it's the craziest thing, and that's a great example. Jared Goff and Stafford. Stafford was on a team with Detroit, and they said that they can never win a Super Bowl with Stafford, which they probably were right? Stafford took 13 to 14 years to get to the Super Bowl. Newsflash, Stafford didn't win the Super Bowl by himself. He went to a team that was a team. And now we are seeing a team in Detroit is an actual team. Law, you can't keep speaking the truth / realities of it. Yeah, I feel you, The realities of it is the truth. Yeah, appreciate you, Paul. All right, so Stafford had the number 1 defense, yeah? And that's one thing that people fail to realize. People leave out the facts. Stafford, when he's dead and gone, he's going to have a ring in his name. 30 years from now, they're going to look at Stafford as a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Not many are going to bring up, hey, that number one defense. Oh, man, what happened with that offense or what all that they put around that team. The same they did for John Elway. Brilliant arm, brilliant success, but nothing tangible far as a ring. What did they do? Okay, let's add run game to them. Let's bring better defense. Boom. Super Bowl. 2 times. Walked off on a horse. Got a chance. The horse jumped on his back. The Bronco horse jumped on his back, and he sailed off into the sunset. Packers, they have a top scheme. Man, the Packers gave the 49ers a run for their life. If the Packers had a better kicker, right, they probably would have won. But there's going to be a whole nother conversation for them. Just like we said, if this had to happen, if that had to happen. But here's the truth of it all. Let me tell you how the world works on all what I'm saying. That kicker had situations and issues all season long of missing those type and kind of calibers of kicks. So if that kicker was under contract for $60 million, do you think they would eat that contract? Do you think that they would sit back and say, all right, if that kicker had a no-trade clause on his contract, you think that they will keep that kicker there? Yeah. They would have to say, okay, all right, we under contract with this particular kicker. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we can change out his shoes. Maybe we can give him some more psychological help. Maybe we can figure out to get a better offensive line in front of him. Maybe we can get another placeholder. Maybe we can change out the balls. Maybe we can start making this kicker kick in the rain. But they don't have to worry about that because they don't have a no-trade clause on his contract, and he's not getting paid over $60 million. So every circumstance is different. The 49ers knew that Elijah Mitchell was a real good back and whoever else they had on their running team. But he wasn't enough to fit or solidify their system. So what they did was they went and picked up a CMC. And what did they give for him? The world. Do you think that they're worrying about run game now? No. So when you have an issue, you go ahead and you solidify and you fix that issue. The Ravens knew that they had bad linebacker play, and the only linebacker that they had was Queen. So they said, okay, we need another linebacker to fit our identity of our team. Roquan is worth this amount of money. Well, they went and got Roquan. But what the Cowboys do is say, Roquan is worth this amount of money? Nah. All right, we can go figure out something else, man. We can elevate a guy that's from the practice squad or something, Buddy Johnson or something. Yeah, it's a hell of a steal. Yes, indeed. But we're going to open up the phone line. Hold on.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for line. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for line. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East coastin' or we in the hidden hills. In the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you callin' bluffs, I show and prove it is for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in. Bitch the old whip, see what I'm coming in. The inside caramel just like 100 grand. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line.
All right. I got Dr. Q. He's been waiting in the queue right here, and I'm quite sure that Dr. Q had to go through something in order to be a doctor. You know, he just couldn't just say, okay, I'm going to be a doctor and not go through something. Hey, you're a doctor over here, man. Talk to me, man.
What's going on, brother? Hey, and Cowboys fan. Man, I've been trying to reach you since literally after the game, but the schedule's been crazy when I call in. Normally you're on your way out. So I finally got a chance to catch up with you. But, man, I'm listening to you, boss, and you are speaking facts, man. Nothing pisses me off more than someone in the chat or anyone saying this particular player is garbage. We all know that, delusional ass fans, we know that you got millions of kids playing high school ball, that and those millions go to 75 on the college roster to 53 in the pros. So that tells you that player, regardless of what your feelings are, that player is doing something right. You're sitting up here saying the player's garbage. That's just idiotic, man. And then on top of that, basically, if you work in that, and then shout out to UPS. If you stocking boxes, don't complain. That's what you're doing. That's what you chose. Look, I am a doctor of radiology. I make $310 a year, okay? And I'm not bragging, but I worked hard for that. You see what I'm saying? I worked hard for that. Life's about what you choose. But, man, I wanted to just hit on a couple of things because I had a lot on my heart, Lord, man, since Sunday. I want to go back when you were talking about the cap hit. D-Law's cap hit is $10 million base. He got he got $10 million base next year, $20 million cap hit. Gallup has a $8.5 million base and a $13 million cap hit. So come on, man, there's a lot of the money right there. So when these guys say, "Oh man, this dude's making this," that's where a lot of the money is tied up at. But another thing I want to talk about. Okay, so to me, I think is the defense. So, Law, if you ever bake the cake, right?
Right.
If you don't have the eggs, right, you're going to have issues. Eggs within the cake, it creates structure and stability within the batter. And that's what that defensive line does not have. It does not have structure. We know preparation builds confidence.
Right.
And this team was not prepared. We know that.
Right.
For sure. The next thing, man, is this is what a lot of fans don't understand. MJ called in the other day and said, "Don't blame." I heard him. He said,
right.
Like
that's his bit. Yeah.
A bit, but I'm gonna push back a little bit. So this is what I think. I think, and I don't want to sound racist here, but I think that circle. What I mean, that Stephen Jones, or Jerry Jones, those white media folks that's around him, this is what Dallas do. So when they go and but there's a player out there, we talked about the last 2 years about Raekwon and Clowney, right?
Right.
What we do is we go get a player that's on Taco, what was his name? Taco Charlton's level.
Yeah.
We go get, that's what I'm saying. We go get Hankins, and shout out to Hankins, man, good brother. But the thing is, with those teams you see there in that Ford Turner right now, they go out and they go get the number one player that came out. Because remember, Clowney was number one when he came out. He was the number one draft pick, the first pick, actually, right? But Dallas won't take a chance on him because he had a DUI. But then they'll go out and get someone like a Taco Charlton that may have beat his wife up in a DUI. You see what I'm saying? Then look at the money and think, "Oh, we don't want to give up an extra $1 million. Therefore, we're gonna take our chances with this player." Then they miss out on those players. That's to me, that's the problem with this team. The Joneses, the white boys sitting around saying, "Oh, well, you know what? I don't think you can get him because he had this going on and that going on." Man, that right there, that's just my opinion. I don't know, man. I think that they just have the fear sometimes of success. Yeah.
Believe it or not, they have the fear of taking that leap of faith, and I think that's holding the Cowboys back, because at the end of the day, there's nobody job at questioning.
Right.
You put yourself in a situation so that you can make the income that you can make, right? But at some point you had to take the risk because you're a brother, right? You're a brother, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you the first generation to go to college or second?
No, I'm the second.
See, so at some point you had to just go up against all odds because you competing against people for those positionings and for those especially scholarships that's probably in the 6th or the 7th generation. You know what I'm saying? So you just been in the 2nd generation going into that field of study, and you had to score a certain amount to get there. And I think that the Jones family in general, they ain't worried about that. They gonna forever, if they mess up, they gonna keep this job. But they gotta look competent enough to do what they do. So that's why they ain't gonna take that risk. But somebody that know that if they mess up, there's no tomorrow. But if they hit it, then at least they can keep that job for tomorrow. They gonna take those risks. They gonna pick up their phone. They picking up the phone right now, calling and seeing whether or not this dude could be on the team or what have you. But the Jones family don't have that type of pressure. That's all I can say, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Two quick things, bro, and I'm gonna let you go. So I noticed a lot of people are talking about our offense. You know, I mean, like our own fans, right? So
right.
The thing is, I don't think per se. This is my opinion.
Uh-huh.
I don't think per se that the offense lost just because they're not good. I think they made some bonehead mistakes. The offense did, right? But my thing is, they still scored 32 points. I don't care if there was calorie points. I don't care what people talking about. These calorie points that's going. Packers was playing prevent, yada yada. We know Dallas can go down and score, but that defense, oh my goodness, that's on a whole different letdown level. The whole from the front end to the back end, the whole letdown level. And basically, man, like I said, they got to go out and possibly, like you always say, bring the guy in for a cup of coffee. But you got to get players that you know that can take you over the top. Quit constantly hiring these Band-Aid players, and maybe this team will change. Something's got to change, bro, because, listen, next year, I don't know if the fans know this now. I'm not sure if you know this. So when the NFL puts out the schedule, you know that you can see the schedule for the next 3 to 4 years.
You can,
the schedules are already out. Yeah, the schedules are already out. The Cowboys, we play the AFC Central next year. Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals, Lions, 49ers. The schedule's already out. It's only going to change based on the playoff seeding, and that may only be 1 or 2 games. But they got a brutal schedule next year, man. If they don't go out and fix this defense, Law, and I'm telling you now, January 22nd, 2024, we're going to be sitting up here revisiting the same thing next year if they don't fix this defense.
No doubt, Doctor, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
All right, brother.
Yes,
okay,
indeed.
Man. All right.
Congratulations on all of his success. All right, so here's my thoughts, man. Collectively, with Rogue Shop, as you guys can see, man, one of the presenting sponsors of this particular episode. Be sure to check out RogueShop.com. Use promo code LAW, where you can also pick up items like this, like a mushroom. We got the mushroom blend over here of coffee, and then we also have the vitamin D3 that you can go over here and select too, and it's all brought to you by RogueShop.com. Appreciate Rogue Shop, and also salute the Prize Picks in the mix as well. Cowboy Nation, I want to say this though. The number one issue that I see with the Jones family is I think that we can acquire talent. I think that we do a great job of finding talent. I think that we do a great job of drafting. My only issue is the sense of urgency. Sometimes we move a little too slow. And even though we look at the team and we talk about talent alone, I can tell you, we have talent. We had talent even with Dave Campbell years. We had talent. Talent was there. Talent was there with Bill Parcells. Talent was there with Wade Phillips. Talent was there with even Jason Garrett. Talent was there this year and last year, right? But how you use and utilize your talent is the issue. Sometimes we get in our own way. We play the political football. We get too much involved with a lot of things that we don't need to. And it come back to bite us in the you know what. Stubborn is another situation. The need to be right is a very problem with the Cowboys organization. Feelings. And I remember there's a documentary that was out there, and I forgot that owner's name for the 49ers. It could have been Eddie DeBarlo. I forgot who it was. He said, one thing, Jerry, that I need to tell you is don't fall in love with the players. And guess what Jerry did? He fell in love with the players. You can't have the open door policy here. Kids even do that even within the confines of this house. They would love to circumvent stuff. They would love to say, hey, you know, even though mom said no, let me see if dad gonna say yes. You learn that at a little age. Even though John Fossil says no, I want to know if Jerry will say yes. Even if Mike McCarthy says yes, I need to find a no, so I'm going to go to Jerry. Or Jerry, hey, you can have a mindset to say, hey, I'm finna just focus in on this right here alone. And then you look back, and then you'll have something like this to go around.
Who's getting it and who's not, I don't know who exactly makes those decisions. But I can also speak for another time. It was the week Amari Cooper got there. And Sanjay Lau was one of my favorite receiver coaches ever. Really good coach, knows what he's doing, right? He comes in there, and he told me straight up. He was like, hey, I'm just letting you know the big man, Jerry and Steven, are up there pushing to get Amari the rock this game. So I'm just letting you know. So,
hey, just hush. Y'all need to push for nothing. Just sit back, Jones family, and let coaches coaching, you know. Hey, we have contractors over your house. Don't hang all over them, man. You know, you just make sure, hey, I want marble floor right here, and I want it to be this cut, that cut, and get out the way. But don't be hanging all over them, you know, while they doing their job. Now, it's good to check, but if they don't do it right, then you can sit back and say, hey, man, y'all all fired. But this don't be all in the way, in the meeting rooms, and the decisions. Yeah, I get it, man. But you come in there and they say, okay, well, we really like to approach this game this way and attack this part of the field. And you all of a sudden, who that? Come on in. Oh, it's the owner. Hey, what you need? Hey, I just want to sit in this meeting. Yeah, so we was talking about we want to focus in on Jake Ferguson in this game, and I think that Jake Ferguson, hey, Jerry, you okay? Yeah, I'm just sitting back. Okay, all right. So blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden the receiver coach come to the wide receiver room and say, hey, I got word from Jerry Jones that he was in his meeting earlier, and although y'all said y'all was going to focus on Jake Ferguson, but we going to make sure you get the ball, CD. Or we going to make sure you get the ball, Brandon Cooks. That's not even part of the game plan. But who's going to say otherwise? Who's going to go up against that? Who's going to go up against that? I want to know, who's going to go up against that? So that's just where it is. Cowboys, Mike, man, from 716. You're live on the Nation, man. Brought to you by Prize Picks and Rogue Shop, man. Talk to me.
Lord, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good.
Yeah, man, like I called you again, man. I told you, man, that boy is not going to get a coaching job, so Dallas is going to bring him back into Dallas. I don't think that's a good idea, man. Talking about Quinn.
Here's my thoughts with Quinn. I think he's a brilliant coach. I think he's a really good coach. But you know what the problem is? Is that when we get even if they fool around Mike and give him the linebackers that we all bang on the table we want to, when he get down to playoff time, he gonna have 5 or 6 more interviews. You know what I'm saying? You think he gonna be worried about? He tried to get out of this year, the year before. So my thing is, Mike, he need to go, because at the end of the day, when we need him the most, he's going to be trying to secure that bag elsewhere. I don't think he can do the two.
Yeah, Law, I agree with you 100%. I've been saying the same thing since I called you after the Buffalo game, that Quinn needs to go.
Need to go.
The Cowboys back defensively wise, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just preach, just go after the quarterback. There's more to football than just rushing the quarterback, man. And they're not. The Cowboys are not disciplined, man. I don't know if that's defensive coaching or what. They're not disciplined. It seems like it's a team, but it's not a team because they don't seem like they're all together. Like, you know what I'm saying? It takes a team to win in sports, man. You're not individual talent.
Yeah. When you got to have a authoritative type of mindset, and you can always circumvent it, right? Like Jimmy Johnson would threaten to leave Troy Aikman on. Hey, he's late. Fly off. You know, Michael Irvin, he late. You know what I'm saying? Fly off. You know, he'll leave them boys. You leave them boys.
Exactly.
But he probably say, hey, I give him an extra 30 minutes, but act like we finna fly off though, you know. But if it was somebody like on the low end, leave him. He's fired. He's cut, you know. But there's not even that going on, you know.
Hey, look, another thing, man. I'm all for, like I said, I like Dak. I'm not piling on Dak and whatnot, man. But I like I like to see them give the bigger kid, the younger kid, a chance too, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
See, that's my whole thoughts too.
San Francisco. He ain't got to fear shaking San Francisco. I think he can be a talent, man. The dude is big enough. I like his size and his arm strength. Yeah.
I think that here's what we all want to see. And this is what I've been banging on the table even from the days of Romo. Put a legitimate backup quarterback behind Romo and give him some hard, stern coaching. That was my argument with Romo. Guess what with Dak? The same thing. Put a legitimate backup quarterback behind him, Trey Lance, and give him some stern coaching. You know, make sure. Now, was it easy for Dak Prescott to get to where he's at? No, I'm not saying that either. It was a matter of circumstances, because in 2016 he was like the fourth guy on the roster, something like that. But
so what would you do with Dak's contract, man? If you was the GM, what would you do with his contract, man?
Oh my gosh, he's in a terrible. He's in the best contract for himself, but from an organization he's in a terrible spot. Because there was no trust with it, right? It's kind of like, you know, you've been dating this. Let me just use this as an analogy, Mike. Let's say you've been dating this girl and you kind of like halfway in, halfway out with her, but you already been in a relationship for like 5 or 6 years, right? And her homegirl, you go to the wedding, her homegirl get married, right? And she catch the bouquet, you know? And now all she talking about is marriage, and you kind of like, it's cool if I'm just kicking it with you, you know. And that's what the Cowboys did, you know. They wasn't really all in on Dak from the jump, and his people picked that up already, Mike. And what happened was they said, okay, I really don't trust you, so therefore there's no trade clause on the contract. And on top of that, you know, there's no franchise tag that you can put on us. And the Cowboys did it again. They did exactly that again. The time to extend Dak Prescott was last year before the season kicked off. Now we're back at this same spot, bro. So the Cowboys got to wait now and hope that they, I don't know, man. They're in a weird spot, bro. That's all I can say.
I agree with you, man. They're stuck with this dude.
They stuck right here at that spot right there because they waited too late. You know what I'm saying? And she's already looking at the diamonds. You know what I'm saying? She want the princess cut and everything, and she want her ring to be about the same amount of price the ring the other girl got. You know what I'm saying? So that's where they at in this type of relationship. It's a very bad one right now. So and they don't want to let it walk because it's the best thing they had. You know what I'm saying? The last 7-8 years.
But, Lord, the Cowboys define the definition of insanity, man. Like I said, when it comes to Dak, man. What have you seen to think that everything is going to be different next year, man? We're going to be 4 years straight of, 12-5 and making the playoff and getting knocked out in the first round? You know what I mean? They got to make some form of like coaching change, man, or something, man. I don't know, man.
Well. You know that relationship I was telling you about that lady.
Yeah.
They did the same thing to damn Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Hey, right now, man. He's in the last year's contract. He caught the bouquet. Said, "Hey, what you gonna do?" You know what I'm saying? Do or die. They gonna have to leave him at the altar. You know, if he's man, I don't know, because at this time, bro, what you can do? What you gonna extend? You gonna stand Mike McCarthy, or you gonna let him go? And if they were gonna do that, they would have cut him. They would have fired him right after the loss. But they didn't. They kept him around. So now the good and kind of qualities of coaches, they're leaving now. You know, they getting signed and picked up. So you had your opportunity. So one thing I don't want to happen here is I truly believe that even this year, this past season, Mike McCarthy was still on the hot seat until we beat what's that dude's name? What's his name? Went to the Kellen Moore. He was on the hot seat all the way up to that Kellen Moore's game from the Joneses. I don't think they were really sold onto him till after that Kellen Moore's game. They say, "Oh well, at least he beat the Chargers."
Man, listen, man. I don't know. I'm like you, man. You just scratch your head, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. I don't know what they thinking. Like running it back, I don't think it's gonna, unless they make a wholesale changes. Like you got to start signing some free agents, and our cap is not gonna allow us to do all of that with you know.
Well, I laid out these things to improve the team. Will be Mike McCarthy getting a better run game. I think that even when you look at 15 years ago when they were able to win the Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy in Green Bay, Ryan Grant was a downhill runner. Ahmad Green, I believe, was on that team. He was a downhill runner. And they snuck into the playoff 10-6 or what have you, or whatever record it was at that time, and they were able to get on the road there. If Mike McCarthy is going to win next season, it's going to have to be because of run game and spectacular play that Dak Prescott can do. I think that Mike McCarthy still is going to fall back to being bland and vanilla on certain things because he's archaic. He's not all of a sudden going to get super smart and do all of the things that the other teams are doing now. These Final Four teams are doing in the playoffs now, right? So we know that. But if you can somehow infuse run game in there, and maybe you will have enough talent to overcome some of the warts of what may happen. That's all I can say, bro. That would be my solution, though.
Before I go, I'm going to ask you one more question, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a 1-year contract, right?
Right.
So what happens? I heard Lincoln Riley is real good friends with Steven.
With Stephen Jones,
what happens if their year runs out and they brought Lincoln Riley in? Would you oppose to that? How would you feel about that?
As a head coach?
Yeah. Got to go with some innovative, new, young coaches, man, with something different. How would you feel about Lincoln Riley being a Cowboys head coach?
I don't like it because I like that tree philosophy, man. You know, I want to shake a tree that I know that they can pull from. I don't know what Lincoln Riley tree would he absolutely come from, you know. So outside of what he did on the collegiate level, I would say, you know, it's not difficult, right? But we make it difficult. It's easy but yet complex. You just shake one of those trees, the Shanahan, Callahan, Houlihan, whoever hand, shake one of those trees and see what can fall out. Or go to one of those guys that you know that have proven systems, man, that's on that work for the NFL level. But I would say it would be entertaining. I would think that it will be something that we will have to go through growing pains. But it's been a 28, 29-year drought. At that time, it would be a 29 to 30-year drought. And you try to go with a new coach that's probably innovative, it will still have to fall on the hands of who they pulling from, you know. And I don't know, man. I just don't know, bro. And that would just be my thoughts.
Well, thank you. Before I go, man, I like Vrabel as a coach, man. If we had Vrabel in our system, you know, Vrabel would be my choice.
Now, before I let you go, now if you do matchings like that, then I would say, yeah, you get Vrabel, and then you say, okay, Lincoln, come on over, and then you can work with that. But what Jerry Jones have to do too is he did another Cardinal error right here, even with Mike McCarthy. When you hire a coach, let the coach hire who they need. You know what I'm saying? Granted, far as their philosophy and principle. Like, for example, and this is only my thoughts right here, bro. When you hire Mike McCarthy, he's the offensive side guy, right? Then let him hire his whole offensive staff. Now, as far as his defensive stuff, look, he ain't a defensive guy. You shouldn't have let him bring in that dude from the defensive side, his buddy. You know what I'm saying? I forgot his name.
But didn't he hire his own guy, bringing him Philbin? What do Philbin know about being an offensive line coach? They should have hired Mark Colombo and bringing him in to be an offensive line coach.
Right. That part I do agree with you, but at least Philbin was a guy that was at one point in time a head coach somewhere, I believe, in Green Bay, I think, or interim coach.
That's nepotism, though.
Yeah. I get you on that part of it, but that's a whole lot better than Mike McCarthy being forced with Kellen Moore, and we never got a really chance to see Mike McCarthy till last year. Okay. You see what I'm going at with that? Like, if Mike, excuse me, if Jerry Jones allowed Mike Vrabel to get here, right? Allow Mike Vrabel to bring in some of his buddies too. That's all I'm trying to say here. On the defensive side of the coin that he's doing, But man, I appreciate you for calling in, bro.
Hello, thanks, man. All right.
No doubt. Yes, indeed. I got a little parched talking, so I got my fluids. But you guys get what I'm saying. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. Got the 956. You're live on the Nation. Brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix.
Hey, what's up, Lon?
No, man, all is well. Can't complain.
This is Joe. I'm my first time caller.
Shout out to you.
One of the things that I implore Cowboy Nation, your show, instead of, putting all that negative energy, like, for example, the CD Lamb and Micah Parsons drama with their family, put pressure on the Joneses to address these political and, cultural issues that are affecting this team to win, right?
Right.
Instead of, share the content to important people like Cowboys.com, 105.3 The Fan, tag important people, share it to your Facebook group, share it to your Twitter group, Instagram, Snapchat, anything. Instead of putting all this negative energy out there as fans,
Oh yeah, I mean, as fans, we do point out the things that the Jones family need to work on and improve on, and what they should do, but they have their writers too. And they have their pockets too. They have the ultimate influences even over certain airways that they get on, and they are able to get in front of it. And I'm old enough to remember that there was a certain member of the media will say certain things that wasn't even actually true. But it took me in West Coast to go out there and see what absolutely happened, with our eyes. And we saw them kind of like create and fabricate a story that was differently. So that's why it's so important, man, for us to stay independent and for us to be, who we are. And I appreciate the support of the people to get us out there to these training camps. And I'm glad that the front office do allow these meetings to be open to the public too, But there are certain things that we are privy to as a content creator that we have the ultimate trust. I truly believe that what's going on is that people see us out there putting in work, and they know that we ain't fit a lot of Luke Kane, nobody. And so when we say something, they know that it's coming from a place of trust. But when the front office or certain beat writers, and I'm not beating up that beat writer, say something, they come from the angle of money. You know what I'm saying? Or from what they were told to say. And that's the difference. That's why new media is here to stay, because we are able to decipher the fake stuff from the real, and present it back to the people.
Right, and for the people that say, the Joneses don't listen to us, yes, they do.
They do, yeah.
Yes, they do. You just gotta keep putting pressure on the Joneses to get us to listen, right? Like, for example, it took 30 years for Jimmy Johnson to get into the Ring of Honor, but we kept on asking for it and putting our voices out there, and it finally happened.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for the people, if it wasn't for the people, from the nation, I don't think that he would have been in there, because Jerry Jones said it himself, is that when they put DeMarcus Ware in there, it was the overwhelming of the people response to put Jimmy Johnson in there, and he had no choice but to go ahead and concede to that notion there. But I appreciate that. Thank you for calling in, fam.
Thank you.
Good call.
Appreciate it.
Good call from a man, 956, man. Good call from him. So you guys get what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to say that we are better than. My audio could have been all track. What about now? My audio better now? What about now? Was I peaking earlier, y'all? Let me know if I'm too loud, y'all. Let me know, because I just realized that my audio meter is crazy. It's good now? Okay, good. So when we talk about these things, it's not like I'm trying to ride a high horse or anything like that and be a guy that say we better than X, Y, and Z. I was peaking, so when y'all hear that chipping, that means my audio is just too high. I didn't see my meter until then. I was like, dog, I'm killing y'all ears, man. But it's not that I'm trying to put ourselves higher than others, and I know that there was a situation that could be looked negatively, because we're not journalists. We don't move like journalists, and there's a certain code to journalism and how they move and how they source stuff and how they hold on to things and how they write. But at the end of the day, man, y'all don't care about all of that stuff. Nah, y'all just want the information, So we're going to try to give y'all the information the best way possible. And it's more relatable. It's more like what we do. Shoot. That's why you're seeing the 3-ladder and the 4-ladder people getting off of their high horses and they coming down this way. Even Pat McAfee show is more of like a vibe like this, even though he's getting that bag from ESPN. Y'all get what I'm saying, though. So it's going to be that way. I got from my guy, man, from the 915, man. My dog, my brother from another mother, man. You live, Alfonso. Talk to him, man.
Yo, what's up, Law Nation? Hey, what a way to start the offseason, huh? We have family members talking back about players and stuff like that. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, indeed. It's crazy, man. And that ain't gonna go away anytime soon because now you got to go through a whole off season. You got to go through contract negotiation with him, CeeDee Lamb. And if I know anything about the Cowboys, they like to wait to the last hour before they make anything. So it's gonna be even more drama down the line, bro.
It's gonna get dirtier. Yeah, I mean, the what I was trying to say with that is the common denominator and the reason I'm seeing that we always fail is Jerry Jones. No matter we have Romo, we have Dak, we have Blitz or whoever, we always end up choking in the playoffs just because, I mean, this season, Jerry Jones didn't do anything about the running back situation, linebacker situation.
Nothing.
And he's always going to be the common denominator, but at the end of the day, unless we boycott this man and we hit him where it hurts, his pocket, and that's going to be hard because you can't convince people to not go to the games, to not buy the merchandise, because we're the number one team in the NFL.
Yeah.
But we got to find a way to boycott this man so he can actually learn. That's just me being optimistic. But I will like to say is, what do you think we're going to do in the draft? Who do you think we're going to be looking for? Linemen, running back? Who's going to be our number one pick?
I'm always like to build from the inside out, or whether it's O-line, D-line. But with the 24th spot, it's such an intriguing one that if you there, and I can't wait till the combine because I'm still fresh at looking at some evaluations of players. But I'm always trying to pair up and match up. So I want to add another dynamic player to defense. I'm thinking that, if we looking at this offense, right, and the highest of the heights of Dak Prescott will be for what he did last year and for what he did in 2021. I think that those are his two best seasons, right? So what I'm looking at it from this perspective is Dak going to be Dak. I need for this defense to be the defense. I've seen quarterbacks with less skill sets than Dak Prescott win one, right? But I haven't seen a Cowboys defense with this type of defense to win one. And I need for this defense to be the difference maker. So I'm team defense. How can we get an elite defense to be like of what we seemed to think that we were for the first few weeks of the season? I'm thinking linebacker or adding in another dynamic player like a Parsons type, so that he can feed off of. So I'm looking for defense in this draft.
I would agree with you. I feel like we're too over-reliant on Micah Parsons to make sacks. We haven't gotten that much from Armstrong. I mean, D-Law's already older, let's be honest about it. So we need to get another person that can actually get pressure, get sacks, so that we're not relying on Micah solely to get sacks, because we need to get to the quarterback. So that's what I think we need to address this season, and that or linebacker.
Yeah. So it's crazy though, Alfonso. Just like we try to say, hey, if the team is going to lean on Dak, then we're not going to win, right? Because you're going to have other people that can do some type of impact in the game. Maybe it's a running back. Maybe it's somebody maybe it's somebody on the offensive line that can open up the hole for running back. Well, we can make the same argument on the flip side on defense. In these last playoff games, Michael Parsons collectively haven't made a major impact. So how do I make Michael Parsons get even better? By adding another Michael Parsons type of player on this team. Not saying that you're going to find one, but maybe it comes from another area of linebacker play. Maybe it comes from another area of defensive front or in somebody in the safety room. Maybe we need to find another Parsons type playmaker on defense that could be a difference maker.
Got it. Well, let's be optimistic. Hopefully they clear the family fights and they keep them at home. And let's get better. Let's go Cowboys.
Let's go, man. Appreciate you.
Go Lions this weekend. Let's go put some money on the Lions. Hopefully they beat the Niners.
Yeah, let's go Lions, man. Appreciate you, man. Good call from my guy. Yeah. And I hope y'all get what I'm saying is, defense win championships, and I get it, but I'm trying to pair up another dynamic player on defense. We know we getting Trayvon Diggs back. We like what Bland was able to do on the outside, but maybe he's going to be on the opposite side. Maybe you could find another enforcer like a slot DB that could help us out on that aspect. I'm looking for a dog nasty mindset mentality type of person. I like the mixture of what Detroit did, even though, people may say that it takes forever to do that. No. They went and got a CJ who was on the Eagles a year before over there to their team. So if you continue to add a mindset type, a dog nasty mindset, even though he may be the first one to get thrown out of the club, but at least he brings that temperament and that mindset to the table. That's what I'm looking for. So the Cowboys should bring that to the table one way or another. I got Uncle Charles, man, from the 205. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. Unc, you in the mix. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Law?
Hey, man, I'm doing great.
And you know what? That's a blessing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you. Let me say this, and I'm gonna stay as calm as I can. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let the chips fall where the hell it may. Let me tell you something. For all the Cowboy bloggers and YouTubers out there, I can say I commend you
especially the ones I know who putting the work in. The ones you know who I'm talking about. You put this work in. It takes a lot to edit. It takes a lot to get the show together. It takes a lot. It takes a family to be involved in what you're doing and believe in what you're doing, covering these Cowboys. See, we got 3 to 4 generations of Cowboy fans now. I watched Cowboys in the 80s when I was a little G. Yeah. I watched them in the 90s.
Yeah.
I watched them in the 90s. When? It's only 2 legitimate head coaches Dallas ever had. Well, really 3. And that was Tom Landry, Jimmy Jones, and Bill Parcells. Them the only 3 you ever had. I'm going to tell y'all something, and I'm going to tell you, and maybe my brothers and sisters might put me out of check, and that's cool. That's cool. Let me tell y'all something. Mike McCarthy should have been fired. Case closed. Look at Jason Garrett. He had 2 good years, and then he went 8-8 until Jerry had no choice but to let him go because he wasn't going to get no better. Now here comes Mike McCarthy. 12-5, and out the playoffs you go. Same thing. The problem with this organization is that we got a culture. If the coach is messed up. You got Will McClay that see the talent, get the talent, bring the talent in, but yet and still, he's not the general manager. You figure that one out.
Yeah.
It's what it is, but it ain't what it's supposed to be. I'm tired of this mediocrity. I got a Cowboy fleece, Cowboy mug, Cowboy socks. I got Cowboy stuff all over here. I boxed it all up. It's taped down and put in my closet. And that's where it's going to stay. I'm telling you right now, I watched Mike McCarthy go over there and talk to Dak when he throws that interception. And he's talking to him in his ear and rubbing his back. That's the damn problem. Because if that was Bill Belichick, his ass would have been on the bench. That's where he'd have been. He took his starter out there and put that boy on the bench after throwing him in. If I'm going to lose, I'll lose with Zappy. But you're going to the bench. You can't help us no more. Stop kissing each other behind. Stop. Everybody worried about a CD Lamb mama saying it. She only said what she could feel. What she feel. You know why she said it? Because you're not just messing with CD money. You're messing with her money too.
Mama money.
Parson said something. You're not just messing with Parson money. You're messing with his family money. That's what you're messing with. If it was me, God help you. Because goddamn it, I will tell Michael Parsons and CD Lamb, let them franchise tag you. Don't you come back here no more. You go to a team that's willing to go win a championship. CD Lamb got his ways. That's one thing he got. He got his ways, and Michael Parsons got his way too. But you cannot question the will to win. Their will is to win. These young men are too talented to be packing their stuff up and going home. Jerry Jones wasn't in the way. As long as Jerry Jones, you didn't see him, he was back there still pulling the strings. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this in closing. I'm going to tell you something. You know what I'm finna do? March the 30th, the USXL finna start. And Birmingham Stadium is back-to-back champions. Finna go for a 3rd title. Somebody said they ain't legit. Your field goal kicker you got on the Dallas Cowboys came from the Birmingham Stadium. Turpin came from the New Jersey Generals. They legit, case closed. Now, I'm going to say this, and you think about this, Law. You one of the best brothers I ever ran into. I done ran into a lot of men, but you are special to me and my life and my family life. I talk about you all the time. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to end it like this. I'm done with the Cowboys. I don't want to talk about them. God bless them. I hope they do good. I pray they do good. But when I come on the show, I'm going to be in the chat. I'm going to say, Lord, how you doing? Everything all right? How your family? Everything all right? And Lord, I'm going about my business. I'm not going to fool with them no more. Damn the draft. Every draft you go to, you get these guys, you play them, and then they get misplaced, and you still ain't got no title. I'm done with it. Let me say this in closing. Russell Wilson was out there at Denver, and that coach came over there and screamed in his face. And everybody said, well, why you just didn't walk off? Why you let that coach scream in his face like that? Now, I'll tell you why. Because any 2 times you go to the Grammys with your wife and you show up at the Grammys with your wife and she ain't got nothing on, that tells me a lot about you. Because if he'd have got in my face, I'd have waited till you went to the locker room and took a shower, and I went in there with one of them weight belts, and I've been popping suds off his ass. That's what I'm a man just like you. You don't get in my face and talk crazy to me. Now, I respect my brothers and sisters in the chat. I love y'all. And for the ones that don't love me, I love you anyway, because it will be my love to keep you in place. And I love you, Long, but I feel what I feel, bro. And I'm going to be a fan of yours to the day I leave this world. But right now, I'm going to pack that Dallas up. I'm done. I'm through. I'm finished. I can't go through it no more because it's affecting my mental health and my physical health and my spirit. And when you mess with them three things, I got nothing. And that's all I got to say, baby. And I appreciate your time.
No doubt, man. That's Uncle Charles.
Sacrifice. Don't give up the fight. Everything will be all right on any given Sunday. Yeah. Depend on you. If you win or lose, you know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday. Yeah.
That's Uncle Charles, man. And I feel exactly what he's going through right now. You know, when you look at a team, and he said that what CD Mom said is how she felt. And that was deep. That's deep. You know, she said how she felt about the quarterback, and you can't take that away from her, you know. And you wouldn't want it no other way. You wouldn't want it no other way. You know, it sickens me when somebody say, hey, tell me the truth, and then you tell them the truth about how you feel, you know, and then all of a sudden you get mad at it, right? So that just was her truth, and she spoke her truth. Now, by her speaking her truth doesn't mean that quantify of who that person is, right? So that's just how that goes too. You know, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter, and those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. But how this looks like from the outside looking in is that you will have the 3-ladder and the 4-ladder networks expounding upon that and using that as a weak moment to say these type of things. You know, this is what it is.
Microphone, here we go, right there. Go ahead. We have more Josh Allen excuses. But
No. Yeah, I'll let you go with the Josh Allen excuses. I wanted to interrupt the proceedings. Good to see you, Coach. Good to see you. What's up, baby? This is important to point out. I never thought I'd see this day.
What is it?
Even with all the NFL action going on in football,
yeah.
We know the Cowboys are done.
Yeah.
Do you see Cowboy fans turning against Cowboy? They're turning against each other. They're turning against each other.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't eclipse what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that right now.
Yeah.
But I just wanted America to know it's gotten to the point where Cowboy fans have turned on each other. I'm going to take that as a badge of honor.
So you did that? Don't miss a second.
I'm still them boys, man. And man, let me turn that down just a little bit more. Yeah. So I'm still them boys. That's just how it gonna go, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless of it, we gon' get it from the 3-ladder, the 4-ladder network, from the parents, from cousin Ashaniqua and them. We're going to get it from our own fan base. So it's going to be a thing that when you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, we the only team that lost in the playoffs. We are literally the only team that lost in the playoffs. Everybody else, we the only team that matters, man. Let me say this again. We are the only team that lost in the playoffs. There's no Bills hate right now. There's no Texans hate. There's no Green Bay hate. There's no look, I think Stephen A. Smith team is the Steelers. I don't think that he even mentioned one time that they lost and that they didn't make it or advance further in the playoffs. So we are the only team in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. You can throw in that we the only team that lost at home. We the only team that haven't made it since X, Y, and Z. But guess what? Even if we won this week and to lose in the divisional round, they would still talk bad about us. There's no taking away of their hatred. Y'all think that even if we went to the NFC championship game and lose that, they're going to talk about us. Even if we go to the Super Bowl and lose that, they're going to talk about us. They are ready for the next man. Law, do you have any truth to that? In 2021, I told y'all, hey, we drafted Michael Parsons, this unbelievable rookie year this kid is having. Watch, it won't be long before they turn on him. A third of the fan base done already turned on Michael Parsons. They just come with the territory. If Michael Parsons played for any 31 other teams, right, he wouldn't even get none of this. We'll be sitting from the outside looking in and saying, hey, man, we wish we had that dude over here. Man, that team is blessed to have that MP guy. But even the own fan base would say, hey, X, Y, and Z, even from year 2, year 3. Now he's going into his 4th year. Yeah, we the only ones. We talk bad about this team. 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. We gonna beat this team down. Let us be the Atlanta Falcons. Shoot. 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. Man, Atlanta Falcons, boy, they would have been in the suit. They would have been in the playoff yelling. You couldn't even hear. You look at Detroit, and y'all say that we the only team that lost at home. Have you heard the stadium up there in Detroit land? How loud it was? I had to turn my TV down, and my TV was on mute. I said, let me turn that thing down. They were loud up in there, man. Don't have to fix cars. Man, I'm out here watching the game. Look at Goff. Look at Jack Campbell. They talking about biting kneecaps off and everything else. They didn't even put in the comment box, one and done, one and done. Nah. That whole city stood behind that team. To the point, if anybody popped off one little thing that was bad, negative, they'll jump down and beat that person down. That whole city moved and stood behind that team. That city didn't say, hey, man, look at Stafford, man, can we get Stafford back? They stood tall for Goff. I'm talking about Jack Campbell, and he's the linebacker. Not Dan Campbell. I'm talking about Jack Campbell. They're like, look at Jack Campbell making plays. I remember when I was looking at Jack Campbell for this team. Oh, man, he's an hour linebacker. He's slow. He's going to be LVE 2.0, man. Oh, man, we got Mozzie, man. You know, we could have had X, Y. Every pick from last year, y'all were finally right. Y'all dogged every single pick. And that wasn't even new because y'all dogged every pick the year before and the year before that. Cowboy fans, man, it's only a few of the content creators that can say, okay, well, this is what this guy can do. Oh, man, he just hyping the guy up. But everybody that we even draft, y'all always say, hey, man, this dude right here is waste for draft pick, man. It's been 30 years, man. It's been 30 years. Well, how many times was it reminded to the Detroit Lions of how long it's been? How many years do people remind the 49ers that it's been 28 or 29 years for them? They don't even use that as a negative connotation there. But here, lo and behold, man, you know, for the 945, you're live. (945), he got mad. Kenyatta, man, you're live, man, from the 615, you're live.
Oh, you hear me? What's up?
Yeah, you're live, man.
All right. I ain't trying to have nobody bringing their pitchforks or fire, bro, my way. But I'm going to just say this. All right. I like Mike McCarthy as the head coach, but I don't like Mike McCarthy as the main play caller.
Yeah.
And what I mean is in 2022, when in that 5-game schedule where we needed everybody to participate to win games, Mike McCarthy was the head coach of the football team, obviously. And there was a run game and there was defense. And players bought into what he was selling. Because I remember that for the entire 2022 season, everybody just kept repeating resiliency. That was his motto that he brought. This year, he brought another one, the Carpiamia thing. And I didn't hear as many people buying into it or saying it. And I think it stems from the fact that he didn't have as much time to bond with these players because of how much time he was putting toward his play calling duties. And I think at his age now, I think that doesn't fit what his build to be a good head coach. You know what I'm saying?
I think that he was forced to call the plays this year because that was the only way he can get rid of Kellen Moore, right?
Kellen Moore.
Yeah. So I know those type of movements there is okay. He was brought here to be the coach, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, not to be a play caller, right? We brought him in we literally brought in Mike McCarthy to get us over the hump in the playoffs. I'm thinking that getting to the playoff wasn't the issue altogether if you have a healthy Dak Prescott. You know, I think we were still able to get to the playoffs, right? So what happened was the fact that Mike McCarthy, from what we were able to identify, is that Mike McCarthy is better than Jason Garrett, right? That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. and it took just one season to see that. And now what we're finally seeing, and that we all knew, that Mike McCarthy is a better play caller than Kellen Moore. The problem is that now, since his back was against the wall last year, I don't think that they wanted to get rid of Kellen Moore. They would never say this openly. And they said, okay, you're going to have to make concessions. If you're going to get rid of one of ours, then we had to get rid of some of yours. And that's what he did. They got rid of a lot of guys. They got rid of his buddy. I forgot the brother's name. That he was, I think his name was
the line coach.
No. He was like his right hand guy. He stayed with him all day, all through Green Bay or what have you. His name is Davis or something. He was one of those guys. Yeah. They got rid of Joe Phil, but they got rid of a lot of people, man. Running back coach, he had got gone. He got let go of Skip Pete or what have you. And they got rid of a lot of people, man. It was a high turnover, Yeah. But, and then, of course, the linebacker side, that dude did left. So it was a lot of turnover. And he was set up to be a lame duck coach last season. He was set up,
Mike?
Yeah, Mike McCarthy. He wasn't set up with everything to excel. We overachieved last year, believe it or not.
Oh, for sure. I mean, with the offensive line rotations, where it was you didn't know who was going to play left or right tackle, and then the bad receiver play outside of CeeDee Lamb, and then what's y'all nickname for Dalton Schultz? Well, Hot Pocket was the second best receiver on the team. Yeah. So, what I've come to the conclusion of is, as much as people want to not think that Prescott is a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, I watched the Bills-Chiefs game yesterday, and in the middle of the third quarter, I saw both of those quarterbacks not have over 200 yards passing, and their run game was the reason why they're in the game. I was like, and I said to myself, if Patrick Mahomes can have a run game, then Dak Prescott should also have a run game. You know what I'm saying? And that's my only flack with Mike McCarthy is when you want to get rid of Kellen Moore, you knew the cost of that, which was, hey, you got a play calling background. You want to get rid of our guy? Let's see what you got. And you said at that podium, you said we're gonna be able to, and this is no misquote like with Prescott's 10 interception thing. This was from his mouth. He said he was going to want to run the ball, and this year, that's just not what it was. If Prescott wasn't great after the first 5 weeks of the season, that we weren't going to win that football game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think really with everything going, I think that this team, other than the linebackers, I think in a downhill runner, which I think we have that with Rico, he just doesn't get enough touches. I think this team does, when you look at the personnel, I don't think players is the problem. It's just having people buy back into the McCarthy system for real, and want to win for that dude, because he's not going anywhere, obviously. So that's just mine.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere for this year, of course. But here's the problem. Nobody's going to sit back and say, okay, I'm willing to join the Cowboys from a coaching aspect when you got a coach that's on his last year of his contract, right? And then on top of that, they got to have a plan to bring back Dan Quinn at this point, because at this point, if they're going to change our defensive coordinator, then they would have done it by now, right? Or they would have been already talking about, hey, we heard noise that we're going to bring this guy in. Just like he's interviewing for jobs, hell, we should be interviewing for DC, but that's not happening. So I heard about 30 minutes ago that what Dan Quinn had a second interview with the Seattle Seahawks, so he could be heading to Seattle land. And that's a real good team. I like that team. I like Seattle. They built really nice.
They're full of young good bulls, bro. I guess my I'm not trying to hold you too much longer, but my last thing with this current team for real is when you looked at that Packers game, I know bad story, but when you look at that Packers game, not only when everybody wants to look around and like with CeeDee Lamb's mom and blame Dak for his play, and then look at CeeDee Lamb's stats and be like, oh, he played a good game. You could look at everybody in that game and say, oh, well, you know, Dak threw 60 balls, completed 70% of them on 400 yards. He played a good game by a statistical standpoint. So I just think that in order for us to continue to be to keep that brotherhood and that camaraderie up, I think that the point of fingers things have got to go. I think that's on the back of Mike McCarthy. And I think, again, other than not having a run game, I think as long as you can get him to buy back into the system, I really truly believe that this team can at least go to an NFC Championship game, because the Lions can go to a championship game. So our streak got to end at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I just want people to know that the Lions, they didn't change that overnight. They made sure that they made proper moves. Ben Johnson, no one to sneeze at. Far as the defensive coordinator, too, Aaron, he's no one to sneeze at. And then Dan Campbell, he sets the overall culture to that team. You know, the tone. So you're not going to have a pushover team. And then all it takes is people to believe, and they ultimately believe. So they got their taller task to go up against, too. And I can tell you, Green Bay put a good number. They put a good number on the 49ers. And the Lions are looking at it like, I think that the Lions, were they 1-1 against the Green Bay this year? Or did they sweep them? So it could be that the Lions going to look at it like, we know what Green Bay was capable of. We used to playing those boys. And if they were able to make the 49ers bleed, I think that we can as well. And I know that's what Dan Campbell is going to preach. And I believe the difference is between the organization. They're not sitting on their hands. They went and got a Zach Ertz. They went and got him far as from a mindset and a mentality and a thought process.
There's no arrogance in Detroit.
There's none of that. So they're going to be ready, man. And at this point, we'll see, man, if they can get to the Super Bowl. But I think the 49ers probably still pull one off, but it's not going to be an easy fight for them. But appreciate you for calling in, fam.
No, bro. I appreciate your time, for real.
No doubt, man. Good call. Yeah, man. A very good conversation with Smooth there. I just want to let y'all know, man, that in football, you you can't leave no weak spots, man. And the Cowboys, due to their structure, they got a lot of weak spots. Rob Davis was his name that the Cowboys had to let go last year before the start of the season. Keep this in mind. There's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. So when I see coaches moving around, that's from the top, and that's something that concessions were made, What would be the benefit of getting rid of Rob Davis? Right? If y'all look up what Rob Davis did for the team, like he was fired, and he was a life coach under Mike McCarthy. So they can tell y'all one thing and say another, but I knew that the way the temperament of the team, they were really talking about fire Mike McCarthy before the start of the season last year. They've been talking about fire Mike McCarthy since the pandemic. He just been living off some lives, man, some 9 lives or something, man. They've been trying to get Mike McCarthy. The play was to put Dan Quinn as the head coach. Man, Dan Quinn went the bed man down the stretch. And the year before that, Dan Quinn said, hey, man, I know what you're going through, and it's up to you, man, whether or not you want me to stay or go, man, because I feel you, man, what's going on. I can go ahead and leave. And Mike McCarthy said, nah, man, hang around, stay around. Y'all know y'all been in situations like that before, and there's a game within a game. No other coaching staff do that, No other team go through that type of a pledge processing, man. This is a weird pledging processing. Stephen Jones, and if I had time, I'll pull the audio up, and he said that his eyes were set on Dan Quinn before Mike McCarthy, but the Atlanta Falcons held on to him a little longer. So for him being able to get Dan Quinn here is a plus for us. That's what he said. So how you think that, and I ain't talking about feelings or what have you, but Kelly Price that's in the chat, on if you're a female, how would you feel if you with your man and he said, yeah, man, my thing was I wanted Ashaniqua, but, the problem was that she was already taken, so I settled with Kelly. Kelly, if you and I, we got some things going on, But Ashaniqua was the one. And then all of a sudden, a year later, Ashaniqua get here. You sitting there like, wait a minute, now hold on. Wait a minute. What kind of stuff going on? Oh, you a male, bro? But I'm using Kelly as an example since you got a girl name, No offense to the Kellys, you know what I'm saying. But you get with what I'm saying. And shout out to Kelly Price, the singer. Don't want her to come after me as well. I know Ashaniqua is a good example, But y'all get with what I'm saying. Kelly like, wait a minute, I'm a male, man. I'm a boy, Damien. Oh, my gosh, bro. We having too much fun here. All right, so I got JV, and then I got Brandon, and then we have the 501. JV, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix?
Law Nation, what's going on?
Man, not much, man. Just making it.
Look here, bro. It's been a hard week for me since this last game.
Yeah.
What I did want to talk to you about, though, was if I could have that same deal going on that you had with Darius, because whenever the Jones meddle in with anything, the Joneses are going to win and the coach is going to lose. So, hey, if you feel like donating like $1,000 or $1,500 to my cash up, when I say the next coach going to fail, I sure appreciate it.
Okay,
I
yeah.
sure appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to happen because, like you said, there is no other team that does that.
No other team, man. Nobody.
Yeah. So this is what we have to deal with, and the entire team, the players, the coaches, the coaching staff and all that have to endure that and overcome all that. And, it just hurts me that we have these folks who try to sit up there and use these particular points at this point in time, because it's all that point in time. This point in time is always going to come up when you have the Joneses who going to meddle in, who going to always try to take control, like they know exactly what's going on, when exactly what they're doing is just making a profit for themselves, just to keep us here. And it's so scientific, well, should I say schematic, or precise.
Right,
That's
right,
the word.
right.
It's so precise how they're doing it. I mean, it's some of these folks, they just don't want to acknowledge it.
Just to make it short, sometimes you know what you need to do, but you refuse what you need to do because you got to want to have the need to be right. Right.
What you said.
Yeah.
And we see it.
Mm-hmm.
We see it. But I do want to say that on the next coach, I want to be the Darius guy. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Darius. Yeah. Hey.
I want to be the Darius persona. I want to send you my cash app so that I can see everything that Darius said. I'm gonna do all of that. Okay. And then but instead of 150, I want 1,500.
1,500.
Be good.
Wait a minute. Now I just.
I'm serious.
Hey man.
I mean,
I done paid Darius. Darius don't even call in now. He's somewhere in Ruth Chris with my $150. Darius, I'll look for Darius' name on this doggone call. But I said, dang man, I done paid Darius. Darius said that. Yep. He taking money away from the baby, man. That's just what it is, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm coming with more than just boosts this time.
Yeah. No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, have a great one, Darren.
You too, man.
Okay?
Yes, indeed, man. Darius isn't fooling around. I done cash app Darius at 150, and he done ran off, man. Somebody cash at me. Well, somebody super chat me 150 right now, man. Give me some of that money back, man. Darius ain't doing nothing no more. He don't want to call in. He ain't talking to me no more, man. He got that money from me, man, and he done dipped off, man. You know.
It's an evil world we live in.
Come on, Darius, man. Shit. But I know win, lose, or draw, man. This dude gonna keep it just like it is. He gonna say Dak 2-5. 2-5 Dak. Y'all already know his name.
Calling me, texting me.
Y'all already know his name from the 815. Y'all gonna have it tattooed in your minds, man. And this is Brandon Ross, man. He live on the Nation from the 815.
Can you hear me?
Bro, where you at, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. At first, I was like, wait a minute now.
No. You can hear me. I know your trick. You can hear me. I promise you. I know your trick. That's why I always ask. Can you hear me? I know your trick. I'm a star. Yeah. Take us back.
2-5 Dak, man. Go ahead. You said from now on, address you as 2-5 Dak. So 2-5 Dak, go ahead, man. Talk to me, man.
Law. I don't know if Michael Parsons listens to the show. I don't know if CeeDee Lamb listens to the show.
Yeah.
But I think Mama and Brother might be. Now,
yeah.
See, I can say this. 4 years ago, when I was calling in on this Darius show saying this, and then Skip Bayless sold it, I said I'm gonna let Skip Bayless have it. But now, then you had Law Nation said, don't beat a dead horse, Brandon. I said, okay, I won't.
Okay.
But golly, it must be. Can I tell you what must be going on in the Cowboy locker room? it must be somebody on the defense clearly, or maybe even a number 88 on the offense clearly must be having conversations before the playoff game. Let's say that Dak Prescott may not be that guy. But then you got people, Dak fans, on this very show. Why is it always got to be about that? Well, tell that to the players. Matter of fact, tell it to their significant other because they talking out loud. I want to go to
So hold on before you say that. So that's is that 1 and 3? So would that count as 1 and 3 Parsons? Is 1 and 3 Parsons talking?
Look, law. If ain't nothing, I'm fair. If ain't nothing else, I'm fair. Michael Parsons, you have to like. This the one thing that he's such a great player. That's why we should be on him more. But if I'm being fair, law, to me, the defense has not been. The defense didn't show up this last game. But the previous two, we not finna go there. And like Law, I don't normally talk about contracts. Law, as you know, when I talk about Dak, I talk about the numbers. I never bring up the contract, but we in the off season, so I have to. Like, when do I call upon my top player, my best player, my MVP conversation player, the best player in the NFC? When do I call on him to save the day? Because Law Nation and Dak fans never want that to happen, but clearly players on the team has expressed they don't know if Dak Prescott's the guy. And furthermore, the guy that we say loves to make fun of the Dallas Cowboys, who did the Cowboys schedule release on DallasCowboys.com. So make that make sense to me. Saying he went to a game, he talked to players, and they was confident about the defense. They just wasn't confident about the quarterback. You can call it a lie. You can say he's just trying to be funny. But the Cowboys don't hate Stephen A. Smith if y'all stop lying to yourself. Again, we have to point out the obvious. Dak Prescott is 2-5. If I told you Patrick Mahomes was 2-5 in the playoffs, y'all would be like, get this dude out of my face. Stop talking about him. But we wasted so much time that we could have been scouting the Green Bay Packers. Oh, that might be the best quarterback in the NFC. Law, I got a question for you.
Go ahead and close.
Because I know I've been going on. I got a question.
Go ahead.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
What happened to the formula? Please tell me. I need to know that. What happened to it? Because you ain't said it in a while either. But go ahead.
Man, see, what had happened was that, you see, man, there was no formula. And the formula is principles, concept, and scheme, right? And if you can't agree with me, there was no run game in this game, right? And everything was on the back of 2-5 Dak, right? That even rhymes. Everything was on the back of 2-5. Because wait a minute. Hold on. When you said about you needed somebody to make an impactful play from your best player on this team, on our best player on the defense, we couldn't get one person to make an impactful player. You know what I'm saying? I saw in the game, I'm seeing in the game that Dre Greenlaw got 2 interceptions. I saw that they were able to force some turnovers. I saw that they were able to put some pressure on Jordan Love. I saw all of that from the opposing team, 49ers versus the Green Bay, but I couldn't see none of that for my Cowboys versus Green Bay. So talk to me about that, man. Talk to me. What's going on with the defensive side of the coin? I thought defense win championships, man.
You would have a point if the previous 2 playoff games before this one that Dak Prescott didn't look the same, that he didn't make the same mistakes. And might I add, but when before the game got to 27-0, Dak made it 27-0 with the pick 6. So, like, I know that hurts, but it's just the truth. It did. And furthermore, like, look, the Cowboys defense did not play well. And Law, I know you don't remember this because you remember none of my great points. But I asked you, I said, Law, when when Mike McCarthy said we was looking nervous, I said, Law, he wasn't talking about like the 53rd player. Who do you think the coaches buy mostly? He said we had players looking nervous. Who was he talking about? And again,
that's a good question.
That had this, huh?
Yes, that's a good observation there. You're a good observation.
It's like I said this. He said this in the first game, and I said this then. Look, see, this is the thing. 90% of Law Nation people are Dak fans, so they don't want to hear the truth. But I said this, and I made it a point. I said he was not talking about one of our marginal players. He had to be talking about one of our big-time players. And again, in year 3, the same thing happened. Y'all the one told me to look for this. Y'all made it a thing. When Dak got that look on his face, you know it's over. Another point. Why in the world from the jump, from the first play, CD and Dak had a problem? From the first play, Law, you got to explain that to me. I know it's going to hurt to actually have to have an answer for it, but explain to me what was literally from the jump, they had an issue with each other. I'm not saying who was right, who was wrong, but it had to be something. You had no issue when we was beating teams 40 to 9 to 10 and none of that. Law Nation wasn't telling nobody about the formula. Law Nation didn't mention nothing about, hey, we should keep that between
that boy
22 and 27. He did not mention that, not one time.
Not one time.
In the playoffs, hold on. In the playoffs, we all know. I know I'm going long. Let me get this one. In the playoffs, we all know when you run the ball, it's not about the yards. It's about the attempt. We didn't even try. Dak Prescott had 60 throws. Your quarterback is over for him. Stop it, please, with the defense of Dak Prescott. He's 2-5. He Kirk Cousins twin. He's a black Kirk Cousins. End of discussion. You told me we had the coach. You told me we had.
I did say that. I did say that. Yeah. I did say that. Yeah. I did. Yeah. So let me say this though, with Troy Aikman, would have been able to do it with Troy Aikman. I told you we had the coach with that formula and philosophy and principles, right? And I told y'all that, hey, with that particular situation, Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb looked good, and they looked very much so almost unstoppable. But with that being said, we were missing our one key element, and that is running the ball. We didn't run the ball well because I'm going to go all the way back to the 90s. You know, I would say this. Do you think that we can go into a playoff game and run without Emmitt Smith and still win? Could it just be Troy and Michael Irvin? Because sometimes you got to have the run game to temper down the quarterback, to make sure that the quarterback can get things going and get in rhythm. The quarterback never got a chance to get in rhythm because we couldn't establish the freaking run game. So that's just what it is. No, come on. Hey, wait a minute. Did he get in a rhythm? Hey, did you see the 49ers get into rhythm with Christian McCaffrey? Come on. Did you see Goff get into rhythm with his running backs? Did you see even Lamar Jackson and company get in rhythm with their running backs? Come on, man.
Don't ever mention Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson in the same sentence ever in your life.
Wait a minute. Did you see Patrick Mahomes get into rhythm with his running back? Pachachios, pistachios, all of the pistachios.
Let's not do that.
But wait a minute, I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Hold on, Law. I want everybody to go on any one of Law pages and look at the last 10 to 15 posts before the playoffs. Tell me how many of those posts Law Nation was saying, man, we need a running game. You will see mostly Law campaigning for Dak to be the best quarterback in the world, him to be the MVP, and for him to be like, oh, we going to dominate.
Wait, hold on, don't.
He didn't even really
Objection! Objection! You're leading the witnesses. You're leading them. Hold on. So you mean to tell me for all of those weeks I didn't get baptized and crucified by all of these people, because I got baptized in the good stuff, but I got crucified by everybody saying that, nah, man, the run gang is pretty good. Man, wasn't they talking about, hold on. Wasn't I the person said that there's nothing wrong with a Nightwing? There was nothing wrong with a Robin, and there was nothing wrong with a Luigi, but we need to add run game to the mix. Was I saying that before this?
Lord, that you do say that, but you say those things begrudgingly. You say it like passionately. Like, yeah, you had broccoli on your plate. You intended to eat it, but you didn't want it. You just wanted it for the glitz. Hey, I did have broccoli on my plate. No, y'all, Lord, you said out loud. This is the thing. This is why I'm so upset.
Why?
Because I said, Lord, please don't. You talking about leading the witness. I said, Lord, you smarter than this. You know we doing all this talking, but when we that couldn't be. This is the first win a 7th seed has ever got in these playoffs. It's against Dak Prescott. Jordan Love outplayed Dak Prescott. Long. I'm gonna say this in closing.
Wait, hold on. Before you say that in closing, but didn't Jordan Love just outplay Brock Purdy, who's in the MVP racing too? Didn't Jordan Love?
1,000%. But this is the difference, Law. This is why you shouldn't have brought that up. You shouldn't have brought that up.
Why?
Because this is the difference. Because in the crucial moments, their defensive players dropped perfectly placed interception. And what have I been saying about that? In the crucial moments, he won't make that play. As a matter of fact, look, Law.
Hold on. Let me say that. No. I got to jump in. I got to intervene. Objection. Because you're leaving out the fact that if the 49ers defense didn't stand tall and not at all, then the Green Bay would be in the NFC Championship game right about now. And on top of that, what I'm saying is that, do you really think that Jordan Love was the only one that beat us down? No, it was Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones was able to create that space so Jordan Love can play off the play action. He didn't throw how many yards did Jordan Love throw up against us? How many yards now? How many yards?
I think it was a little over, maybe a little over 2. It wasn't much. I think he had 3 touchdowns. I don't think
No. How many yards? How many yards he threw on us?
I'm not sure. You said how many yards did Jordan Love threw for about 2 something, I believe.
And why was those yards available? What worked in that game? What worked against the Cowboys defense?
No, see, Law, you can't use my point.
Wait a minute. I can't use your point against you.
Because I said it's not about the attempt. It's not about the yards. It's about the rush attempts. You make them acknowledge that, hey, you can run the ball. So, my point is we didn't even try that. So, what point are you making again? Go ahead.
Do you think we beat? Do we beat Green Bay if we had Aaron Jones and they had Tony Pollard?
Law. We need Derrick Henry. Can I say this in closing, though? Can I please say this in closing?
Yeah. In closing. Go ahead.
Okay. This is Law. You're a real football fan, so I know you know this. I know you may not say this, but you know this. This is why y'all should be done with that. The last play of the game, he threw that ball out of bounds on purpose, Law. He could have threw that ball up and whatever happened. He ran from an interception. Am I lying, yes or no, Law?
The last play of the game.
The last play of the game, huh?
What last play of the game? Like, break it down. What happened?
See, now you want the last play of the game. Dak Prescott. It was basically just throw the ball up. We
After a brilliant performance in Green Bay's win,
he ran from an interception. Law. This is how I know y'all not even paying attention.
I never was paying attention.
Okay then.
Yeah, man. Shit, we getting
he threw
mollywopped.
the ball up. And he was run. Dak is not. He 2-5 Dak. So Dak fans can go with Dak Prescott. How about them Cowboys? Shout out to Law. Shout out to Law Nation. I've been right. I guess Michael Parsons' mama hates the Cowboys too because she said the same thing I've been saying.
Wait. Michael Parsons' mom? Michael Parsons' mom in this? Oh, okay.
I said CeeDee Lamb.
Wait a minute. Why you ain't gonna say 1-3 Lamb then? Can you say 1-3 Lamb for me, man?
No.
Wait a minute.
That about to be 59 point something. His cap, man. Stop that. I'm not talking about nobody else but 2-5. Y'all the
1-3. 1-3 Lamb, baby. Appreciate you, man. That's my guy, Brandon, man. Hey, I hope y'all had took y'all high blood pressure pills, man. All right, man. 1-3 Lamb, man. 1-3 Parsons. We're gonna keep them records together, man. 1-3. Oh my gosh, man. 2-5 Dak. That's what we gonna call Brandon. And whenever he call in, we gonna keep that in mind. 2-5. He the atonement of that. He did say Parsons' mom, but he misspoke. It was CeeDee Lamb's. He covered it up. But the Cowboys, boy, oh my goodness, man. Being loud doesn't mean you're right. Shout out to you, James Brown. Yes, indeed, man. Oh my goodness, man. All together, man. All together. You guys got to know, man. It's a complete team situation, and I would say this: if the defense looks spectacular, and our run game looks spectacular, and Dak looked like he looked, then I would say something. But at the end of the day, this is his final year. It's his final year, man, and Dak can go to another team if they don't solidify the things that he should have here, as far as the contract. All right, I got 20 people on hold, and it's impossible for me to get to all 20 of y'all. So we're going to go as quickly as possible. But before I go, I got Trayvon, then I got MJ, and I'm going to try to squeeze in. I got 92, I see in the house, and somebody from the 214, and I see Coach AJ. So we're going to try to get it going, man. Trayvon, man, you're live, man. 253, you live on the Nation, man. Talk to me, man.
What's up, Law Nation? How you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Can't complain, bro.
Man, it was some good dialogue today, man. I ain't got a lot, really, man. Doc really covered all what I wanted to say, and Unc, too. But the only thing I got to say is, like you were saying earlier, and you said this on a couple of shows, we need some dogs on defense. We don't have any.
I mean,
you don't have any dogs on defense that really want to actually play. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they have to have that dog mentality. I mean, the whole entire defense need to have that dog mentality, not just one.
Right.
Not D-Law. The whole defense need to have that dog mentality. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, when we always talk about these cultures, if you look at our Dallas Cowboy teams in the 90s, the culture was totally different. Everybody bought into the doggone team. You know what I'm saying? It's not an individual sport here. It's a team sport.
Right,
so
right.
If you're going to buy in, you got to buy in all the way in.
Well, you get that from passions, man. You can tell that Dan Campbell had the passion, but and that's the Detroit guy. And then the 49ers, you can tell that culture comes from above, man. What's that guy? Lynch? Is it Lynch? John Lynch?
John Lynch, yeah.
Yeah. He established it. He played ball, yeah. Like these Final Four teams, Trayvon, I think that anybody would like if you were to trade just a culture in general, you'd do it just like this. You do it just like this to get the Ravens coach over here, to get the Detroit coach, even though they just built this coach within a year and a half. And then you do anything to get like that 49ers mentality far as a culture base. You know, it's no big eyes, no little U's there. And they're going to find somebody that's on the bottom end of their team. And if they are better than the guy that's above, then they'll put that person in that spot to play. That's just how it is.
There it is. And my last point is that the Joneses need to get out of their own way.
Yeah.
They the common denominator in all of this. They won't get out of their own way. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jerry Jones like to have all the control. You know, you got people out there getting the talent, but not the general manager. But he wants to be everybody. He wants to be head of every damn thing.
Yep. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
53 brands, man. 53 brands,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Appreciate you, man, Trayvon. Thank you for calling in,
Already.
man.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them, man? Hey, and now I already know that this man right here from the 206, MJ, he already know who he is. Y'all live, MJ. What's good, man? What's good, brother?
What up, Law?
Not much, man.
How you
Talk
doing?
to me. I'm doing great, man. As Tony the Tiger would say, bro.
I'm going to come on here again, guys.
Go ahead. I'm gonna start calling you MJ stand for Jones, man. Come on, Jones. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead. Run that check. I'm gonna
go. All you fans over here, I don't want to hear shit about the Jones. I'm tired of that. We had a chance. If they put me and you on the field, we gotta play. No more excuses. Every time I hear y'all, it's the Jones. I don't care if he shit on the floor, on the field. If he paying me to play defensive back, I'm gonna go out there and give my 100% for my family and the fans.
Right.
I'm playing for my family and the fans.
Right.
I don't give a shit about Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones or McCarthy or dumbass Dan Quinn. It's up to the players. The one guy just said it. We need dogs. We got chihuahuas. They just want to get money because Michael Parsons is thinking about money. You see what I'm saying? Look what Diggs. Diggs showed his heart. Diggs could have got 23, 24 million. Diggs took 18 because he want to win.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck about the money.
Right.
So when you get and Diggs showed y'all. Now, he's still gonna be set for life. And this little boy, he's not fucking greedy. But all you dumbass fans come on here talking about some Jerry Jones. Oh, me and Jerry. Man, I don't want to hear shit about Jerry no more. If he paid me to fucking play, I got to go on the court and play. It's his fucking team. He can do what the fuck he wants.
Right.
He fucked this up. Dan Quinn punk ass got rid of all my defensive tackles, my big nasty. Got rid of all my linebackers. That was 245 run 4-4s. And then, look what happened. We got dogs.
Well, hold on, MJ. Let me ask you this, though, Dan. You know.
Yeah.
Jerry hired Dan. So what's going on? What's going on?
He hired him. Well, he hired him. Yep. He did the right thing. He hired him. He made the defense with the first year, the defense couldn't even stop me. So this he came with a good plan, but Dan got, for some reason, his mind started thinking, I'm going to go faster. No, Dan. Stop trying to sack the quarterback. If you stop the run, Dan, then you could go after the quarterback. He got it backwards. He tried to go for the rush first instead of stopping the run. If Dan Quinn come back, if he play, he could play a 3-4 or 4-3. Get them big nasties. I saw you just showed a guy the other day, a big D tackle.
Yeah.
Get them big D tackles in there. I'm playing all number 3 tackles. I'm glad 96 ain't coming back. He was horrible. Well, thank God. Gilmore. I'm glad he out of here. Play them big nasties. Get you some fast linebackers and put Parson. Bro, if you want to be like LT stopped the run and he did everything, bro. So until then, you know, you could do that, brother, but stop worrying about money. We need to win this championship. Your money folks should be championship. If you come in here talking about money, and I hate to say this, and you listen to them podcasters,
right,
come on
right.
I'm finna jam y'all up. I'm finna jam y'all up.
In a few more words, go ahead.
If you bringing it, Stop listening to them podcasters talking about we need to pay you. We need to, nigga, give me a championship. Give me a championship. I'll give you the world. Give our fans a Super Bowl. I'll give you everything. Don't listen to the podcasters coming on the channels. Oh, we need to pay Johnny. Oh, he don't want to pay him. We need to get this man. Shut the fuck up, podcasters. No disrespect. Y'all just stick to y'all analysis. That's it. Don't think about contracts. We trying to win a Super Bowl.
Trying to win a Super Bowl. All right, well, hey.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, so this is what I'm going to do for you, MJ. Because I know you frustrated at your family, the Joneses. I know you frustrated when people talk bad about them and these sorts of things. But I know you frustrated. But hear me out.
Make an excuse.
Well,
come on.
they are the ones. They are the ones that empower the coaches, and they the ones that is going to have to fall on the sword some way, some shape, form, or fashion. But this is what I want from you, bro. This is what I want. Let's level this one, right?
Okay.
Every time you call in, I want you to find me one defensive tackle that I can look at from college or from the free agency, and I need for you to find me one linebacker that we need to look into. Well, no. I know what we need, but this is a long off season, MJ. So I'm giving you some homework assignment, man, to help us out. To help us out, to help your family out. So one linebacker, one defensive tackle, and one running back. Every time you call in, I don't care if they from a JUCO school, a high school, middle school. Well, they gotta be available. My bad. I don't care if they from any school. I want you to just say, "Hey, Law, take a look at this dude," and I'm gonna take a look at him, and I'm gonna do my research. And I appreciate you, bro.
And one more thing. I want McCarthy, and I want that halfback. I want the big boy, like you said, from Tennessee. They need to sign him. Bring 20 back in 23.
Yeah.
That would help Dak Prescott, Brandon, because I know you hate Brad. We got to live with him. He's my quarterback.
Yeah. But hey, Clay, you got to go, man. I got to pick up the kids, man. Hey, let's go ahead and let me hear you say it.
Hey, all I want to say, how about them Cowboys? And it's a team sport. We don't win without team. One player can't take us to the promised land.
Do we win with coaching? Do we win?
Hell no, the coach was horrible, but we got to deal with what we got to do.
No doubt, man. No doubt. God. I want to live. If I can go in a time machine, I want to live in MJ house, man. I'll run up all of those light bills. I will have. If MJ was my dad, because he said he's old enough to be one too, because he's about 60. So if MJ was my dad, I would keep every light on in the house. I would flip that water faucet on and just keep it on. Boy, if MJ, you're a good dad, boy. You're a good dad because he will fall on the sword every day. And then when they come there, that bill is due, I'm going to be like, it's up to the dad. He the owner, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to run the bills, man. Shit, I'm just going to run them bills sky high, man. All right, I got 92 that I got coach, man. So 92, man, from the 754, you're live on the Nation, man. Talk to me, man.
Man, what's up, Law, man? Let me tell you something, man. Most of these Cowboys fans, or should I say so-called Cowboys fans, because we got a lot of so-called Cowboys fans, especially that Brandon character. I'm going to tell you right now, all they do is complain. They don't come up with solutions to the problems. All they do is bring the argument to the table and drop it off and have invalid points and rhetoric, okay? I'm going to say this. This the solution. You want to know the solution?
What solution, man? What we got?
I'm going to give you the solution. I'm going to give you the solution to the problem. Let me ask you this, Law. How do you counteract the Shanahan tree? What team has been successful against the Shanahan tree?
Jim Schwartz.
We already know.
Jim Schwartz, he's 7-1. Jim Schwartz, 7-1 versus the Shanahan. Well, the 49ers all time.
Okay. So, and you have somebody else out there too.
I don't know.
From Baltimore. The Baltimore defensive coordinator.
Wink Martindale, the old guy. Because he's a Giants land now.
No, Mike.
Tim McDonald.
Mike. There you go.
Tim McDonald,
young up and coming defensive coordinator. See, listen.
Young? I thought he was
I'm
old.
the Cowboys. Let Dan Quinn walk. Enough is enough. We saw what he could do.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. We can win with Mike McCarthy. Okay, Mike McCarthy is not the perfect head coach, but he know how to deal with the Jerry Jones shenanigans. Okay,
I like that
Everybody
aspect.
can't come to Dallas and deal with the Joneses. Okay, Mike McCarthy is the perfect head coach that can deal with the Joneses. All you got to do is add, let's say, Derrick Henry as the running back, or a running back like Jones that was from the Packers. Okay, all you got to do is get somebody in here to help complement Dak. We've seen that in the DNA back in 2016 when we had Zeke, the young Zeke. Okay, all we got to do now is complement Dak with a stud running back that'll alleviate whatever problems just about we have on offense. Tighten up the offensive line a little bit. Go draft somebody to help. Because we know Tyron gonna go down.
In closing, because I got to dip. I got to dip in a few, but keep going. In closing.
In closing, go get the defensive coordinator from Baltimore, or the guy that's 71 against the Shanahan, because that's the problem. If you look at the team we've been losing to, it's the Shanahan tree. So you kind of at that by getting somebody that know how to deal with them. That's all I got to say. And how about them Cowboys? The haters go somewhere.
That's my guy from 92, man. Cowboy 92. Hey, easier said than done. Most guys, I know there's no salary cap as related to coaching, but there is time that you got to bring in philosophies and principles, and sometimes, it'll take a year and a half or such, or 2 years before that can really turn over. So my biggest thing is, call me crazy. Call me crazy. Because I heard my guy Boss say this a little bit on his show. Just temper Dan Quinn down a little bit if he going to come back, so you don't have to blow up everything. Or if Dan Quinn leaves, then you make sure you keep some of the stuff here. But our biggest hole was with Dan Quinn was linebacker stubbornness, right? And we were trying to force their big nickel too much. Temper that down a little bit. Temper that down just a little bit, right? And work it from that aspect. Bring in some linebackers, some real linebackers, and tell them, like, okay, all right, we gonna play it, we gonna run it back from that aspect. Here's my crazy thing I said about 2 hours ago, because I know we've been live forever. But that Marquise Bell, if he fool around and get 10 to 15 more pounds, he probably be okay, y'all. He probably be okay. Damone Clark, he just got to get out of being a Mike linebacker. I think that he's always been a weak side. I just think that need to change from that aspect. We get us in this free agency a true Mike linebacker, a true linebacker, and just go ahead and accept the fact that Michael Parsons is going to be on the edge, or he's going to be move-around guy, then we probably be okay with this team from the defensive aspect. But what we also got to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to find another DB too, right? Because, that ship done sailed with my guy, Stephon Gilmore, because, he's long in the tooth. You can't depend on him for 17 weeks. But you bring him around for a cup of coffee. That's only if we don't fire sale this team. I know people like, no, you got to let Dan Quinn go, man. But he ain't all the way bad, shoot. He just stubborn, I got Coach AJ, man, last call of the hour, man. Talk to me, man.
My man, my brother from another mother. Congratulations on your show and all the success that you've done, and you've earned this. Now, see, whether we Cowboy fans or not, because I am, it's not who the quarterback is. It's not who the kicker is. Because he had a terrible game too. We throwing everybody. We're blowing up the whole team.
Yeah.
Did he not miss a kick? Did the special teams not get 2 penalties that were crucial? Yeah, I do believe they did.
Yeah.
Because one was, the guy number 54. Every week he can't be on those special teams, man. You can't have that man as a gunner.
No.
You and I both know he don't have the mental aptitude to stay in his lane and do his damn job. He's going to blow it up. All I've heard since this game is blow up the whole team. You want to know the difference between great organizations and those that are not? Mm-hmm. Great ones don't go around and say, let's blow up everything I built. They don't build the Mercedes by blowing it up. They figure out what's wrong with the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Then they figure out what's breaking, fix that, what's out, and make it stronger, faster, reliable. That's the difference between the Toyota and the 1976 Monte Carlo that didn't run very well.
Yeah.
See, we don't listen to this thought. We're out here trying to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott shouldn't have thrown the ball 60 times. But hell, ain't nobody saying Tony Pollard had a great game either. Because guess what? He didn't. I still like him. I want him back, but I ain't giving him $10 million. I'll take him back at 4.5, a hell of a lot less, and that gives me money to go out to Derrick Henry. But I ain't taking Derrick Henry for no $10 million either. I'm taking Derrick Henry for $5 million. Them days are gone where he's going to rush and stay available for 17 weeks.
And you still, and coach, and you still drafting a running back. Oh, keep going, coach. You cooking? Oh, God, no, coach, you coaching. Keep going, keep cooking.
I said, free agent, you address your problems before you get to these idiots of the situation and that 2-5 deck. No, idiot, it's 2-5 Cowboys. This man wasn't here since 19 for 29 years. Brandon, find another team for 29 years because we ain't been that team. We don't have them dogs. We don't have a Michael Irvin to say, you push me in the back and watch what I do to you. See, we don't have that.
Coach, you got all the solutions, man. Hey, talk to me about wide receivers, though, Coach. Hurry up, man. Get on to this wide receiver solution. You got solutions, bro. Keep on.
The number one solution is go get a dude that can catch the damn balls with his hands, not with his body, unless he's MJ with a body catcher. Get me one. There's plenty of dudes coming available for $4 or $5 million. Go get one.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because Brandon Cooks is a body guy, you know. Keep going.
Yeah, and I'm not blaming, but that first interception, that started the whole game off. He didn't even fight for it. He just let it go through his hand, into the other man's hand, and nobody said a word. Now, that's on Dak, yeah. It's his stat. It's his for the rest of his life. By the way, Brandon, the dude has 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in the playoffs. Want to know something, Brandon? He didn't play as bad as you thought. But what pissed the game off is we couldn't score. We didn't do shit. We dropped the first. It's 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 4 point something. And he drops the ball that Greg Olsen said, well, that was a bad pass by Dak. The next touchdown they throw, the guy catches the same thing. That was a pretty ball. You can't make this up.
Man, Coach.
The difference is, who do they want to blame? You blame your team or do you blame an individual? Because I just gave you a list of people you could start with to blame.
Okay, Coach. So you're on 5, man. One more thing, Coach. What's your thoughts on, because you touched every single topic. Boy, you was on fire with it. All right, so what's your thoughts on?
It don't take 30 minutes to get to it.
Yeah, Joe, no. Jeez. Hey, Coach, what's your thoughts on Mike McCarthy, play caller then? What's your thoughts on him?
Play calling sucked.
Okay.
It sucked because on 2nd down, he kept running the ball. It's 2nd and 8. We're going to run the ball, get 2 more yards. They so light in the box. Even, I left out one dude that, he set out this year. He played like Dogma this year. And everybody giving him a pass. He all-pro only because of his name, but he didn't play like an all-pro right guard.
Oh, yeah.
You go back and look. He missed all kinds of crucial little blocks.
Yeah.
Clark was eating him. You want a defensive tackle? Go get Clark. Let's go steal some of the 49er people that's got that mentality. Just like we did in the 90s. We went over and said, we can't beat you, but I'll take Haley off your team. We can't beat you. I'm going to take Prime Time off your team. going to go get me some of them dogs from the team that's kicking my butt, and I'm going to come back with them, and we're going to kick your butt. They know what it takes to beat you.
Man,
you don't
Coach.
have to reinvent the wheel.
Man.
You don't have to destroy your team. And shut up about the 2-5. Hell, everybody knows we're 2-5. If you're a part of a team, you are part of it.
Yes, indeed, Coach, man. I appreciate you so much for calling in, man.
And I need to talk to you,
indeed.
man. I got some young cats that need your help. I'm doing a mentor program. I finally get back here. I need your help to keep it going.
Shoot me a call, man, and I got you, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Now
call.
take Brandon to the bank on team.
Yes, indeed, man. That's a good call from Coach AJ, man. That's a great call from him, man.
Goodbye.
Boy, man, I wish I could stay longer, man. I try to give you guys unbelievable time, but that's that time evaded from me. Cowboy Nation, let's continue to grind and shine. Ladies and gentlemen, I know, I get it. You know, a lot of people are angry and upset, and we got that, what's that, 90s song or early 2000s song that came out, Sometimes I Love Her, I Love Her Not, I Ain't Letting Her Go. She is all I got, although she nags me. Something like that. What's the name of the song? I'll let them people sing it, because that's where we at, man, with the Cowboys. Sometimes we love her and sometimes we love them not, man. But we ain't going to let them go. I should write them lyrics down, man, because this is all we got. You know, so we ain't finna move nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. We ain't going nowhere. That's just what it is, Cowboy Nation. And at the end of the day, we ain't going nowhere. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? This is all we got, man. We ain't gonna let them go. We ain't. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Shout out to Coach AJ for delivering the great information. Very measured, too. But like I said, we ain't gonna let them go. But this is all we got. I'm gonna find the lyrics, man. What's the name of the song, y'all? Y'all give me the lyrics of the song. What's the name of the song? I mean, the artist of the song. Sometimes I love her. Sometimes I love her not. I ain't letting her go. She is all I got. Cowboy fans, although we could play, we ain't going nowhere. Come on, you can't find that song, man. Y'all find that song by tomorrow. Boy, I'm gonna sing that song, and Luther ain't gonna have nothing on me. Luther right now rolling over in his grave. Said, "Long trash." But a prize fighter, even when he's down, he continues to swing. Win, lose, or draw. Knowing that all it takes is one punch to knock him out. And we're going to continue to figure out a way to knock him out, Cowboy Nation. I'm going to get on up out of here before the time expires. But ladies and gentlemen, DC for life, not for short. Let's continue to grind and shine, baby. We about, I ain't let her go. She is all I got. Cowboys is all I got. Appreciate all of the supporters.